episode 10. I can't believe it's been 10 episodes.
I know. Crazy,
That's
right?
such a big milestone.
I know. They say that most podcasts don't even make it to episode 10, and
I
here we
know,
are.
and here we are. Here we are. That is wild. So we have a bit of a special episode for you guys today. We are doing an advice column, but it's not really a column. It's just us talking. So we're gonna be doing that in the second half of this episode. So we had a form that we handed out to our community, and if you're watching live right now, you still have time to fill out the form before we answer all your burning questions later on in this episode.
Yes.
But to thank you for watching 10 episodes of the GirlyPop TV podcast, we are
Yes.
going to answer anything that you may need advice on. So,
Absolutely.
yeah,
Yes. And I am your co host, Koolkayak, alongside with.
Blindfoldhero.
And I'm really excited to get started. But first, before we get to the advice, of course, I'd like to know what your favorite episode we've done so far.
Okay, let me think. We've done 10 9, not including this one. I need like a list of all these episodes. I feel like we've done something. I really like the one where we talked about Asian American, like
Ooh,
being
yeah.
Asian American. I thought that was a really nice one. I felt like I had a lot to say on the matter. I think the LGBT episode was very, what was it, like eye-opening
Mm-hmm.
episode for me, or like, it was like a big milestone for me personally because I
Yeah.
never talked about that stuff publicly before.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, it was a pretty big milestone. And I also enjoyed the episode where we talked about being a woman in male-dominated fields as well.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
know that I just said like 3 different episodes and not one. But I think those. Oh wait, I also really like the Twice and Bruno Mars episode too.
Do you have a
Really
number
good.
one?
A number one. I'm gonna say. Oh, the content creation episode was good too.
That one
Okay,
was
I think
really
our
good.
like a number. I'll say the Asian American episode for my number one. Oh
Okay.
wait, I also really like the favorite media one. That's the one where we
Oh,
cosplayed.
that one is really
Yeah,
cute.
that was really fun. Okay, I'm gonna say the Asian American one for my number one. But
Final.
I liked all of them were so good.
Okay. Final answer?
Yeah.
Okay.
What about you? What about you?
Okay. So, my favorite episode, I would say it was. Okay. I think a big milestone for me would be
Mm-hmm.
um, LGBTQ, of course.
Mm-hmm.
But the most fun episode was the media one where we talked about all different
Yeah.
medias that are our favorite. I feel like we really got to know our differences, but where we were also similar in our media. Even if there was different
Mm-hmm.
different media, we still had overlaps of like topics and stuff, which was
Yeah.
super cool.
Yeah. That was a really fun episode as well.
And the cosplay was fun.
I feel like yeah. I think we've cosplayed for 2 episodes, right?
Yeah, we did favorite media.
Yeah, and then the episode where I just got back from Katsucon, I think. No, wait.
No,
I
you
think it
you
was just
didn't
favorite
cosplay
media.
in that one.
Oh, okay.
We
Yeah,
had
I think it
our
was just favorite media then.
we had our favorite for the Twice and Bruno Mars. We had our like shirts. You had your Twice shirt and I had my Bruno Mars shirt.
Right, that's true. Oh wait, 1 second. Audio issue?
Oh,
Popcorn says I
maybe.
suddenly can't hear Kaya. Hold on. Let me see. Really? You can't hear? I'll cut this part off.
Wait, really? On
On my
blindfolds?
side? Weird. Okay.
Testing, testing, testing.
Here, let me leave and come back. Here, let me leave and come back.
Okay. We'll be right back after this commercial break.
Was it just recently? Can you hear Kayak now?
Okay, testing, testing. 1, 2, 3. I'm gonna share chat again.
Oh yes. Thank you.
What the frick?
Weird.
Why
Oh,
can't-
just recently. What about now? What about now?
Testing, testing. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. How do I share chat? Oh my gosh.
Should be just in string together.
I'm so embarrassed. Oh, there you go.
Nice, nice. Okay. It's still bad.
Oh, I
Really?
think I'm
It
just
looks
quiet. You
fine.
may have to raise me up.
Oh, are you quiet? Okay.
How are you guys listening
Okay.
to me before?
Yeah. Okay. What about now? How does it sound now?
Testing, testing.
How does it
1,
sound now?
1, 2,
Well,
3.
good now. Okay.
La la la
Good.
la la
Good.
la la.
Yes. Yes. No. Yes. No.
It went quiet.
It's back
Now
now.
it's back. Okay. That's weird.
Okay.
La 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 la.
Everything is good.
La la la
Popcorn?
la 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 la. There you go.
Okay. Good. Okay. Cool.
Excellent.
Sounds good. Okay. Okay. Where were we?
We were talking about
Yes, favorite episode.
favorite episode. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, yeah, mine, I would have to say the Asian American episode. And you said yours was
The LGBTQ.
you really like, yeah, but you really liked the favorite media one.
Yeah, that one was really fun to talk about.
Yes, yes. Okay.
And I liked because I had like examples that I was showing. So I was doing show and tell too during. And that was fun.
Yeah. I like that episode where we talked about our international trips and you showed your postcards.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Wow, so much show and tell.
I know, that was really fun.
Yeah.
So if you guys are not watching the YouTube video or the live, make sure to watch that so you can see all our show and tell.
I know, because we do show things also on video, but you
Yes,
can also see the video on Spotify because they now do
Yeah,
that, which is interesting.
Yeah, that's true. I have been uploading the videos on Spotify as well. I totally forgot about that.
I forgot we do that too. Props to Blindfold because Blindfold has been the one uploading. So big ups to Blindfold.
I still need to upload the previous one. But do you have a least favorite episode?
Oh, a least favorite. Tell me why I didn't even think about this. Oh my gosh, what is?
I'll say.
Okay,
mine.
you go
I'll say
first.
mine.
You go first.
My least favorite episode. Not that any episode was bad. I like all of them.
Okay.
But I would say probably episode 0, the first one, just because I think that I like our podcast episodes more and more with every episode that passes.
That's a good point. We are getting better.
I would say my least favorite would be episode 0 because we were still kind of like starting out and we had a lot of audio and tech issues, I remember, in that very first episode. So it was just, I mean, it was really great because it was like, yay, first ever podcast episode. But I felt like we were still starting out, we were at like ground zero. And every other episode after that, like each episode we have just gets better and better.
Yeah.
So each episode will always be better than the previous one.
True.
So, yeah.
Okay, hold on. Pause.
It was maybe a cop-out answer, but...
Can we pause real quick? Again?
Oh, yes.
Just because Blindfold's video is delayed for me on your side, Kayak. On OBS, though, it seems to be fine. So I'm a little confused. How do I fix that? Could that just be internet issue?
Also, I just realized you can actually pause the recording in OBS.
Oh, really? Oh my gosh, you're right. Yeah, you're right. There's a pause button.
There's a pause button. Is that new? I just paused it.
No, I think that is that's been there.
Is that new? That's been there? Have we just not seen that?
I guess not. The thing is that Blindfold's video is directly connected, like the link is connected to her. So I don't know if that's just a stream together issue. It might be a stream together issue. I mean, we can always use Blindfold's recording.
Testing.
It doesn't seem delayed. Okay, we'll keep going then.
I'm never not on Wi-Fi. I'm always on Wi-Fi.
Okay, let's just keep going. My bad.
Should we keep going? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, all good.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, that
What's
is.
your least favorite?
I feel like your answer is so good because it's true. Like that episode was just like testing stuff and we ran into a lot of issues. But I guess my least favorite. I kind of want to say the relationships one.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Like I don't know why, but I feel embarrassed about that episode.
Oh, interesting.
Like
Really?
I said too much. That's how I feel. Like I feel like I said too much. But also I didn't say too much. You know, maybe it's just me being like, "Oh my gosh, I really talked about that stuff on stream." kind of thing.
I see. I think I enjoyed the episode because we talked about red flags and green flags.
That part I did enjoy. Yeah.
And pet peeves as well. And after the episode, after that podcast episode, I suddenly thought of like so many more pet peeves. I was like, man, I wish I remembered to talk about that during the the episode.
Yeah. I think I remember feeling the same way too, where I was like, I feel like I have more to say now. Which maybe we can do like
right?
maybe like later down
Part
the line,
2?
we can do a part 2 of that. Yeah.
Okay, sounds
Because
good.
I feel like maybe also because I'm changing like how I feel about things. So maybe some of the things I don't relate to that I said in that one, you know, like I don't know. It's only been 3 months since that podcast, but I still feel like
Yeah, true. Because we're constantly changing. We're growing as human beings.
Exactly. Life as a content creator means all your business is out there, and then you have to witness it and be a little bit embarrassed and move on with your life from it.
But imagine how the big content creators feel, because I feel like their personal lives are just like all over the internet, and there's nothing they can hide. So I'm like, wow,
exactly.
I can't imagine.
I saw this video, and it was Seth Rogen, who's an actor. He's been an actor since he was like in his early 20s, and he said he was glad. Yeah, I know. I was like, I don't know if you know him.
I assume Blindfold doesn't know him.
Yeah. But he's a comedy actor, and you know, a lot of the things that he's auditioned for were done through VHS tapes because it's like the 90s to the early 2000s era. And he was like, I'm really glad that I didn't audition for things like that nowadays, now that everything is recorded and saved. Because there were some auditions he's done where nowadays, if that was brought back, it would be so like, because things have changed. Like, it's been like 20 years. So things have changed on what's appropriate or not. And some things that he auditioned for were not appropriate with the way he did things. So he was like, I'm just really glad that was on VHS tape, because I'm sure that's really hard to find.
Yeah, I see. That makes sense. Yeah, the world is a very different place now than it was in the 90s, for sure.
For real, though. So now with content creators putting everything out there, nothing is a secret.
Yeah, exactly.
Your BS from when you're in your early 20s, and then you look back later and you're still content creating in your late 20s to 30s. Yeah. Oh my gosh, I can't imagine the secondhand embarrassment of yourself.
I know. And it's hard too, because people, like, I know Pokimane has talked a lot about this, and like other big content creators too, about how like one thing they did when they were like, 19, like people will remember that for the rest of your careers, so
yeah,
if even if you make one mistake, you were like 17, but people are like, oh, didn't you do this one thing when you were 17? Like, so you're must be a bad person, but like you've had like 15 years to grow.
Yeah, exactly.
Or like maybe there's like an instance or event that people will always remember you as, if you were like really big when you were younger, like a really big content creator when you're younger, but maybe now you're not as big, but people will always remember you as that person, even though you may not be that person anymore. You've grown out of that persona.
Exactly.
So it's hard, for sure.
Definitely. And even like, I think that's also the same with movies because there's this guy who's from this movie. I forgot his name, but he's from the movie The Graduate. Really, just a famous actor from like the 60s, 50s, I don't know 40s, but 50s and 60s, 70s and onward.
Mm-hmm.
And like his earlier movies, like the dialogue for those movies were very inappropriate. Like nowadays would just be like, dude, this guy is saying some just crazy profanity. But
Mm-hmm.
that was
Yeah. But
normalized
back
back
then,
then, I'm sure.
yeah, normal.
Yeah.
Right.
But it's just straight up racist.
Yeah.
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 It's just
Mm-hmm.
yeah, some things I'm just like
Like sometimes I watch movies from even like the early 2000s, and I'm like, wow, this would not fly in today's in today's society.
right. That's why I'm like, you know, it's kind of like when you're a content creator, I think you have to get used to. I mean, hopefully nothing is
Hmm.
ever that bad where it's like racism related stuff because that's just
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
oh,
of course.
dude. But yeah,
Hmm.
things like that where it's like you look back and you're like, oh, God.
I know. Yeah, for sure. And like even like this podcast, like I look back on, you know, that first episode 0, and I was like, wow. Like this is a much smaller scale, but I'm like, whoa, like I feel so much more knowledgeable in like
Hmm.
audio and tech issues now and
Yeah.
stuff like that.
I feel like we've gotten very good at keeping conversation going and also sounding a lot more with the
Yeah.
flow than we did in the
Yeah.
first
I think
episode.
right. I think the very first episode 0, there were so many like awkward pauses. I mean, I haven't really watched back on it, but I think I remember that there are a lot of awkward. There was like long pauses between each of us talking,
Yeah, exactly. And
and
I think there was
I was just like,
also
yeah, and like the audio was so scuffed.
no for real though. I think also like the way our like we were kind of doing it like an interview. Like we were like asking
Yeah, yeah,
questions in
yeah,
a more interview format than an actual like conversation back and forth.
yeah, and then just like talking back and forth. I
Yeah.
know for this episode, I mean, I know it's a Vice episode, but usually we like plan out, like we write like an outline for the episodes. But I feel like the outlines have been getting like smaller and smaller for me because it's just like I'm getting more used to just speaking on the spot and like
Yeah.
improvising,
Yeah.
and like conversating rather than speaking from an outline. So that's personal growth for me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I'm
But yeah,
excited
I
for
feel like
future.
even January we've come a long way, and I know like for the future we'll grow even more. So
Definitely.
I'm excited to see where this podcast is gonna be in like 5 years
Oh my
if it's still
gosh. I
here.
know, imagine. I'm curious to see
Yeah.
too. What we end up with
Oh
like a
my
whole
gosh. Wait, is
studio.
there is there anything that would happen that would make you not want to do the podcast anymore? That would make you want to quit the
Um,
podcast?
I think it would more like be hiatuses than it would be quitting.
Yeah. Yeah,
Sorry
I see.
if you hear noises. I have my neighbors are making noises right now.
Oh, it's okay. I don't hear anything.
Okay, bless. Um, but yeah, I don't think there would be anything unless like you and I had like a fit or something like that.
Yeah.
But I
What if we had a friendship breakup? Would you still do the podcast even if we had a friendship breakup?
I don't think we should if we had a friendship breakup.
But shouldn't there be a separation between our personal and professional lives?
Yeah, but the whole basis of the podcast is our friendship.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
But we could still talk about things on the podcast even if we're not friends.
Okay, so what are you saying? You still want to do the podcast even if you break up with me?
Yeah. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Don't lie. Don't
I'm
lie.
not lying. Yeah. I worked so hard on these graphics. I'm not giving that up.
Well, I guess it depends on what we broke up with or what. Yeah.
That's
But
true.
I don't
That's
think
true.
I
That's
don't
true.
think we're going to break up. It's fine.
What if I said I wanted to quit the podcast? So then I quit. Would you still run the podcast and get a new co-host?
Nah, probably not.
Oh, you would just quit too? Or
Yeah.
would you run it by yourself?
I don't think I would run the Girly Pop podcast anymore. I just make my own.
I see.
Yeah.
Because GirlyPop is like 2 of us.
Yeah. It'd have to be another Girly
see.
Pop.
I see.
So unless there
That's
was a
why
contender.
We can't end it. That's why we can't end it. Even if we have a friendship breakup. Because GirlyPop is literally us. So no one else can do it. So even if we have a friendship breakup, we have to continue to do it. Yeah?
I mean, okay. All right. You know what would be cool? Like if we did go through it and we still do episodes, but then we like rekindle our friendship. Imagine
That's true, because
imagine
of the podcast.
The progression of us not liking one another to liking one another and then becoming best friends, and then I'm an auntie to your child.
What?
I'm the maid of honor at your wedding.
Yeah. I see. Wow, okay, we should do that.
This is talking long game, guys. This is long game. Okay? I'm creating the lore in my head now.
Okay. Wow, what a great meet cute.
Yeah, exactly.
I know.
We break up and then we rekindle, and that's what's gonna keep our podcast alive.
Oh my gosh, what if we have like a therapy session for our friendship breakup as a podcast episode?
Wait, I kind of love that, actually.
So like if we have a friendship breakup, but then we're like, no, okay, we have to do the next episode. It's gonna be about, okay, let's discuss why we broke up and how we can fix it. But because it's on a podcast, it's public, everyone's seeing it. We have to keep it civil. So it's not like we can be mean to each other because it's private. But everyone's viewing it.
Yeah,
exactly. So we have to keep it civil, and then we can work things out on the podcast episode.
True. You know what would be funny? Sorry, I just had this idea when you were mentioning this. If we brought ex people, whether that's friends or relationships, as guests on this show, and then we like have a whole interview style, or like just I don't know. Now that feels like The Cut. You ever heard of The Cut?
No, yeah.
Or Jubilee. That
would be kind of fun.
Yeah,
that did remind me of that.
Yeah, where you interview your ex and you find out what happened and why. Yeah, that's
that could be us.
Yeah, exactly.
Not saying I want you to become my ex, but
no, I get what you're saying.
We can fake it for content.
Wow. So stay tuned, guys.
Yeah, stay tuned. That brings up a good point. Because I was gonna segue into goals for the future of our podcast, and one thing I really want to do is have a guest episode.
Me too.
I'm not sure how we want to work that out, since this is a virtual podcast, since we're not actually in person together. But I was thinking in the middle of the screen, it could be the camera of the guest, and then we could both be on the side.
We'll have to make an overlay for guest appearances.
Yeah. I mean, just a box, I guess.
Yeah. No, I'm down.
Could speak in the middle. Yeah.
No, that would be really interesting. And then we can I mean, what are the qualifications for a guest in your head?
Honestly, anyone.
Okay.
I'm down for anyone.
Okay.
Even someone I don't know. Like
a stranger. A complete stranger?
Yeah, because I feel like a stranger is even better, because then I have even more questions to ask them, because I don't know anything about them,
That's true, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, that's true. Wait, there's a good point here in chat. Shouldn't it be girly pops only? What's your thought on that?
Yes, but I also think anyone could be a girly pop. It doesn't have to be restricted to gender.
It's a great answer. It's a great answer, Blindfold.
But as long as you feel the girly pop in your soul, guys can be girly pops as well.
Yes.
As long as you feel girly pop inside, you can be on the podcast.
Oh,
but
so
if you
real.
don't feel girly pop inside, then you cannot be on the podcast.
Bless, yes.
You just have to feel it in your soul. Make sure you are a girly pop.
Yeah, a girly pop at heart.
Yeah.
Yes.
But yeah, I think that'll be a fun future episode. Do you have anything else you want to do for like future podcast
I
episodes?
really want to do an IRL episode
Yes,
where we're in
yes.
real life
1,000 subs,
together.
guys. Yes.
Hopefully sooner. That happens sooner than later.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's what I would love to do. I'd
Oh
love
my
to
gosh.
do I'd love to do an outdoor IRL
Ooh.
podcast. I would love to do that.
Oh, that'd be fun. That'd be fun.
Yes.
Because it reminds me of when we did our IRL string together.
Oh my gosh, yeah. And we were kind of doing the
And
same
then-
thing, asking questions and stuff.
Yeah. That was really fun. That's where you had that viral TikTok video where I didn't know who. I don't even remember her name.
Amy
What's her name?
Winehouse.
Yeah, Amy Winehouse. Yeah, where I didn't know who Amy Winehouse was.
Yeah, and you were like, "Oh yeah, me and Amy are best friends." And I'm like, "Really? Yeah, we talk all the time." What? She's dead.
Yeah, I know.
It's like
That's so
I
funny.
love that. That's like one of my
Yeah.
favorite.
Yeah, let's do the IRL stream podcast episode for sure.
Yes.
I know we have a lot of other topics that we wanted to discuss too, like spirituality and religion episode.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember what else, but I know we had like a lot of different
We had a
ideas as well,
long
so.
stream of ideas.
Yeah, we did.
And I can read some of them because I pinned some.
Ooh, I also want to do a dreams episode where we talk about past dreams we have.
Yeah, I need to write
I
down
need
my
to start
dreams
writing
though.
them down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some ideas that we have are astrology. I'd love to have an astrology episode.
Yes. That'd be really fun.
And a bucket list episode.
Mm-hmm.
And careers.
Yeah, lessons in your 20s and goals for your
good.
30s. That would be
Yeah.
really fun. Food. I feel like we kind of already had a food episode of like the international travel episode. But I guess we could expand more upon that as well.
Yeah, because I can yap about my allergies.
Yeah,
For
exactly.
sure.
Exactly. I'm also down to have an episode where we like have no script, no outline, where we just talk and chat about each other's, week.
Oh, a
and what we
yapping.
did.
A yapping.
Yeah, just a casual yapping session. No outline, no planned topics, just nothing. We just show up and
Yeah.
yap.
We'll do that
down for
eventually.
that
I
too.
like that idea.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good idea.
Mhm.
I think the biggest one that I'm into is astrology, digital cleanse, what girlhood means, like to either of us.
Mhm. Yeah, I like that too.
Yeah, I think those are the main ones I've been excited
I
for.
like
And
those
spirituality.
for sure. Yeah. Mhm. I'm really excited. Bless you.
Thank you.
So stay tuned, everyone. We have a lot of really exciting episodes coming up. So stay tuned. We're gonna go very, very, very far. Soon we're gonna be episode 100. Oh my gosh, maybe we should do the IRL meetup at like an episode like milestone too.
Oh,
Like
like
episode 50 or episode 100, something like that.
yes, I agree.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That would be really fun. We can talk about it later.
Yes, definitely.
But yeah, 10 episodes of GirlyPop TV. It's been really fun. It's been an honor to be
Truly.
your co-host.
Yes.
Wouldn't have done this wouldn't have done this with anyone else.
Yes, and thank you to all our cuties for listening or watching us and even watching us live. Thank you so much. And
yes, thank you to all cuties.
with all that said, I mean, I think this is a good time to transition into now giving back to the cuties and giving advice to the questions. I have to word this differently. And answering all your questions with advice.
Yes, let's go. Okay, time for the advice column. Woo!
Yeah.
All right. So, I don't think we talked about this yet, but if you haven't noticed, if you're watching the live video, we are currently dressed as advice givers.
Yeah. And our idea of that was shirt and tie.
Yeah, shirt and tie and glasses, even though my tie looks like this, but it'd be like that.
Yeah. Yes.
But yeah, so we are here to give you very professional and not professional advice. So please take everything we say to you with a grain of salt. Don't forget that we are not professional therapists or advisors. So take whatever we say with a grain of salt, but we will try to give you advice for whatever questions you have to the best of our abilities from our own personal experiences.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Okay.
Definitely.
Cool. Well, let's go. Do you want to do it in order, the questions, or
they're in the same order as you, right? Like what I see will be the same as you.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. You want to just do it in order?
I sent you yeah, sure. I sent you a spreadsheet of the
Oh, you did.
responses. Yeah, on Discord. If you want to look at that.
Let me make sure. Oh, is this updated in real time?
Yeah, it's updated real time.
You're so cool for that. Oh my gosh.
Wait, why?
Because that is like, that's so organized.
Yeah.
Okay, excellent. All right, we'll just start from the top.
All right. Yeah. Do you want to trade like reading the questions?
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay.
Want to go first?
Cool. Sure. So the first question, oh, should we say who they're by as well?
Yeah, you can be like anonymous.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. So the first question is by an anonymous cutie. They are asking us, what is a good way to learn someone's love language without being too obvious about it? So I think for this question, I would say it's like you don't have to ask them straight up like what's your love language, like that's obviously, obvious. I would say just pay attention to them without being, creepy or whatnot. Like, for example, if their love language is gift giving, you'll notice that they give a lot of gifts, if they're always buying little things, or that might mean they like to give, that their love their love language that they give out is gift giving. If they offer to help with things that you might need, like tax or anything, that means their love language might be acts of service. And if they like to give a lot of people compliments, that means their love language might be words of affirmation and stuff like that. But it's also important to note that the love languages they give out might be different from the ones that they want to receive, right? So you not only have to pay attention to how they express love to others, you also have to pay attention kind of like to what they want as well. So that's just I think a matter of active listening. You kind of have to listen to maybe things that they complain about, like what do they want more of, what kind of love are they seeking more of. Like just listen to what they talk about, what they complain about, and what they request. For example, like going back to the gift giving love language, if they're always buying little things for people, that means they give out like gift gifting, right? But if they talk a lot about like, oh, I want this thing, I want this thing, that might mean they also want to receive gifts. If they ask for like hugs, if a lot, that might mean they want to receive physical touch and stuff like that. So yeah. I think you just have to be observant, and an active listener.
Yeah.
But yes, someone in chat also brought up a good point there. It also isn't anything wrong with asking for someone's love language as well. I think it might be kind of cute, actually. Like, I'm just imagining someone coming up to me and being like, oh my gosh, like, hey, like, what's your love language? I would find that so cute, So there's also nothing wrong with just straight up asking for their love language.
Yeah. And I think even in my friendships, I've asked people that were like, what's your preferred love language? I mean, a lot of people sometimes say all of them, but the way they express their love languages could be completely different too. So I don't think there's anything.
I totally agree.
I think there's strength in honesty and authenticity, and the right person will respect that. So I know
Yeah,
you
I
said
totally
you
agree.
anonymous cutie said that they didn't want to be too obvious about it, but live, laugh, love, live out loud, you know?
I know. You only live once, so just do it.
Yes, yes.
But
But
yeah, there are ways to be discreet about it, but also nothing wrong with actually being obvious about it.
yeah, and I think
Because yeah, like yeah. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
I think just like even if you want to be more discreet about it, just like what Blindfold said,
Mm-hmm.
I think just really listening and really observing your friend or whoever this person is, and yeah, understand that love languages don't exactly translate. Sometimes it's all about your delivery too. It's all about, there's a lot of factors that play in hand here, but I just
Mm-hmm.
always go by authenticity and
Yes.
respect.
Yes. Yeah, I totally agree. I think as long as you're being yourself, like you can't ever go wrong with that. So
Yeah, and the right person
yeah.
will receive that well.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah,
Yep.
great
Yeah.
answer.
Good luck.
Yes, good luck.
You want to read the next question?
Yes. So this next question was written by Sprinkle. Hello, Sprinkle. They said, I need help getting a career started. I've tried going to college, but that's not for me. I've tried getting a warehouse job with no luck. I've tried getting a job in retail, also no luck. I'm male, 19, and living with parents. I'm assuming the question is, what should I do? Well,
Mm-hmm.
okay, a few things here. Luckily, you are living with your parents, so hopefully that means financial stuff is not a huge burden right now. So that's a good thing,
Mm-hmm.
if that's the case. If you need to find something now, I would just be sending out applications everywhere, anywhere I
Yeah.
can, talking to people that maybe are from your high school who have jobs currently. I think just if you really need a job right now, just start putting things out there. I think there's a lot of power in being your age too. This is the time to really explore and
Oh
put
yeah.
yourself out there and try things, because I think there's if you do start the exploring right now, then by the time you're in your 30s, you would already know based off all the things that you've explored what's right for you and what's not right for you. So good on you for realizing what's good for you and
Mm-hmm.
what's not good for you, starting with realizing college is not your thing, which is totally fine. I feel like college is not everybody's gig, and you don't have to go to college. There are plenty of people who find their own successes without college, just
Mm-hmm.
as there are people who have went to college and they may have not even gotten success from what they even studied in the first place. So I mean, it's just like you find success in the ways that you can. So I think just putting out applications, that's really the best I can say, and talking to people that you may know in high school who live in the same town as you, or maybe they live in another town. You might have to commute for a bit, but that's kind of sometimes what it takes to just get started in building your resume and building, finding out what you would like to do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, I also think uh it helps just to think like quantity over quality. Like Kayak said, just send applications everywhere. When I was unemployed, that's kind of what I did. And it was really rough. Like it's not gonna be easy. Like finding a job, getting a career start is not easy. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
But props to you for thinking about it. And yeah, absolutely. Like Kayak said, like your age, like 19 is so young. Like
Mm-hmm.
you might not think that it's young, but that is so young. Like
It really is.
very, very young. Yeah, like like when you're that age, you're like, oh, I'm like not 18 anymore, but I'm like getting older. I'm an adult now, But it is actually so young,
Yeah,
like
it's
you're
like
like
baby.
1 years old. You're a 1 year old adult,
Yeah,
like you're
yeah.
literally a baby. Like there's no rush. Okay, you don't have to feel rushed or pressured. Like you literally have your whole life ahead of you. So yeah, just keep trying. Keep working on it, and just good luck. Like you got this, and you can try thinking about like if you're trying to like find a career, like you don't really know what you want to do. Just think about like your hobbies. what you enjoy doing right now and how you can translate that into something that will be able to make you money. Like,
Right.
think about the skills that you already have right now and how you can apply that in a job, because you can kind of finagle anything, right? Like, like for example, even if like your only like job experience was like maybe like a server at a restaurant, and some people are like, oh, that's not like, enough experience apply for other positions. But like, no, like even if you're like a server at a restaurant, you have so many skills under your belt that you can talk about in your resume. For example, like time management, so important, right? And like dealing with multiple things, like juggling a lot of different tasks at once, being responsible, like effective and active communication. Like, there are so many things you can talk about from your previous experiences that you can write down on a resume that will, look really good. So,
Yeah, I agree.
um, and you can use a lot of free resources on the internet to help you out with that as well. And like even like Canva, there's so many resume templates on Canva.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, just think about what you truly enjoy doing right now, and how you can kind of translate that into getting a job, like ultimately a career, and walking on a career path that you'll be able to truly enjoy.
Yeah.
So
And I think also another thought here is, once you start dipping your toes in different things and trying out things, and
mhm.
maybe you'll find out you don't like something, and that's okay. Because, there are
Yeah,
people
it's
who
totally
are,
okay.
yeah, there are
Hmm.
people who are 70 years old who have had multiple careers throughout their
Hmm.
life in different industries. But
Hmm.
it is all of that to
Hmm.
say it proves that all the skills that you are building from now until later in your life are all transferable, just like what Blindfold was saying. Like, even if you're a server, those skills can be easily transferred into an office related type of gig. So
Hmm.
everything is meaningful. Soft skills, especially, are very meaningful with careers along your life. So, yeah, it's difficult. Don't get me wrong, but you got
Yeah,
this.
it's
If
difficult.
I can do
Hmm.
it, if Blindfold can do it, and the rest of the people watching here can do it, you can definitely do it too.
Mhm. Yeah, it was very hard for me. So yeah, it's definitely hard, but I think for me personally, I'm like at a solid, career point in my life as well. Like, I really enjoy my job. I really enjoy my career. But just to give you some perspective, like you might look at that and be like, "Oh, like I wish I was like that," and feel like envious. But it did take me a very very long time to reach this point. So, like Kayak said, if it can happen to me, it can happen to you too. So just
Yeah.
don't give up. Yeah. And yeah, you can consider trade school too. Someone in chat just said that trade school is really great too. Which is kind of different from like a traditional college, right? So
Yeah,
maybe that's something you could look into as well.
definitely. And there's also certificates you can find online that
Yeah,
can help you
like online like
leverage.
classes.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
So,
something that's different than just traditional college.
and the power of YouTube
Um,
too is crazy. So, it's
yeah,
also
exactly.
another.
YouTube. Like, you can learn so many different skills from YouTube
Hmm.
and, apply that to any job or career.
Definitely. So,
Yeah.
best of luck to
Oh,
you,
and
Sprinkle.
one more point
Hmm.
is that instead of just like applying to different places online, personally I found that if you try like cold emailing or even just like walking into like businesses sometimes and meeting people face to face, because I feel like getting a career, getting a job is a lot about networking. So maybe like seeing what your friends are into and seeing what people around you are doing might help leverage a position for you as
Definitely.
well, because yeah.
I think, and sorry, and also another thing I just thought about right now, but I went to this summit that was like around, and this was more
Hmm.
towards the creative industries, but I think this can apply to anything. But I think just showing up, making sure people know you, and making sure like you're at least showing up for these things, whether that's like
Hmm.
networking
Yes,
events or
yes.
you're just like meeting somebody that you're interested in getting a job with them or something like that. People will keep that in mind and could later down the line hit you up. You never know. You really
Hmm.
never know. So there's a lot of power in just being upfront and talking to people and being like, yeah, this is where I'm at. And then maybe like a month or two later, like, hey, actually a job just opened up for this. Are you interested? I can get you an interview.
Yeah.
You never know. So yeah, put yourself out there. You can do it.
Yeah. We're cheering for you.
Yes.
Don't forget the GirlyPop TV podcast got your back.
Okay, on to the next one.
Okay. Is it my turn?
Yes.
Okay. This is a long one.
Okay.
Okay. So I do all our meetings and events at work, and we just hired on a new team member to kind of step in and assist with the philanthropic philanthropic arm of our company. My boss oversees both, and while it's two separate departments, we cross over often. I've been joking a lot about being grateful to get giving off my plate with this new person coming on. Oh, giving's the name of the department. And my boss brought something up the other day that I want feedback on. Since I started, my boss has been very clear on the fact that she wants to hand meetings and events to me. So meetings and events is the other department. Okay, so there's two departments. Meetings and events is one, and giving is the other one.
Okay.
That ultimately I will be overseeing it in her place. When she took over corporate giving and hired this new person, I always just assumed that the new person would do the same. She sat me down the other day and told me that she noticed that I was kind of joking, that I didn't want giving, and she said that she wished I would give fair thought to the idea that I could have both if I wanted. She said she's not sure what plans she has for the new person, but she has always seen me as someone that will step up as she does. She said, maybe you don't want gives, and that's okay, but I want you to give it some thought and give it a fair chance. In my head, I don't have the experience or passion for corporate giving. I had to write an excerpt on why I give, and it took me a week to write it because I don't. I don't know if it's an Asian thing, but I've never done more than donate some of my time or buy food for the homeless. So the thought of leading a department that I don't have passion for and asking others to give their time and money when I don't, is that right? It's a great opportunity to advance in my career and take on additional responsibilities, but I'm hesitant because it kind of makes me feel like a hypocrite. What do you guys think?
I have some
And
thoughts.
thank you Popcorn for submitting this. And this is the longest response we have gotten, by the way. So if you guys are still submitting things that you want advice for in the form, you should try to submit responses like this where there's a lot of detail. So we appreciate
this is awesome.
all the detail you gave us to provide background, Popcorn. So thank you for the long response. Okay,
Yes.
what are your thoughts?
Okay, so my thoughts are, I can understand why you would feel hypocritical in taking this role, and that it does feel like this position would be deserving to someone who is already passionate about donating, giving, and all that, all that stuff. However, I do believe that this could be very good for your career, and it would show a lot if you did take on this role. A part of me also thinks that just because you don't currently do it right now doesn't mean that that can't change, or you can't be in support of others doing the same. And so that's why I think this might be a good opportunity, and I don't think I would just let it go as easily. And I think she's right that you should give this some thought and maybe give it a more fair chance and be a little open-minded to taking that step in that direction, because you don't know where that's going to lead either. I know you have expressed that you love being a part of, this company, and you really enjoy working with your current boss. I don't know if that changes anything and if that just makes you work alongside your boss, or, I'm not really sure of the dynamic there. So I don't know if that puts things into, what kind of workplace you want to be a part of, but I think you could also definitely take charge and be that person too. Since you now have a good example on what it means to be a good leader, you can definitely take that on. I don't know. I think I'm leaning more towards doing it than not doing it. What do you think?
Well, I always, when I'm trying to pick between two choices, right? I always, in my experience, I always like to pick the choice that I'm more afraid of, because I think that's the choice that will give me the most room for growth.
Mm-hmm.
Because growth doesn't happen in your comfort zone. Growth always happens in the places where you feel scared and anxious and afraid. Um, yeah, I totally see what you mean where you don't have passion for corporate giving, but you're like, am I fit to lead these people when I don't even have a passion for it? Like, is it right for me to ask them to give when I don't even, give in my personal time? And I totally agree with Kayak when she said that, you're not this gonna be the same person forever. Maybe, once you take on this role, it'll help you become a different person. Or not help, I guess that's a wrong choice of word. But maybe you have the possibility to change into someone that also likes giving as well. But I think even if you don't, that's okay as well. Because just because you're in a position of leadership for corporate giving doesn't mean you necessarily have to exemplify those values as well. As long as you have, yeah, like other people on your team that are also passionate about it as well, because I'm sure you're not like the only person that is you know leading the entire team, right? Like you also have people around you that you work with. Um and yeah, like you said, it could be a stepping stone for you too. It doesn't have to be your forever. It could just be something you do and something you try out now, and then maybe if you don't like it, there could be a possibility that I could switch out of that position, Like, don't think it's something you have to do for the rest of your life, obviously. That's not like any job. Like, you're not working at the same job, the same position for the rest of your life.
Mm-hmm.
So, I am like leaning towards doing it as well, because you never know if you like it or dislike it if you don't try. That's kind of
Yeah.
my thought on it.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, whenever I'm like stuck, I always think like, which choice, do I want to, like, do I not want to do the most? And that's usually the one I pick, because I know, like, as contradictory as it sounds, because I know that'll be the one better for me, if
Yeah.
that
That
makes
there's
sense.
more fear into it where you're like, maybe
Yeah.
you don't know as
Mm-hmm.
much about it, but you would learn a lot doing it. I think it would also show more
Mm-hmm.
than just, just taking on this role, but also being more open minded to something throughout this company, which I think could look good for you. And especially if this is a place that you could potentially really grow into and really, see what happens throughout this company, or can lead to a different company, who knows. But I also agree that this is a really good stepping stone and can lead to something better in the long run, and can actually grow you as a leader, with now a different set of skill sets.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah, for sure. Flexibility and adaptability. And especially, like, I know you said, like, you told your boss that you didn't really want to do it, and your boss said she sees that you don't want to do it as well. But the fact that your boss is asking you to give it another chance, and like give it some thought, shows that she really thinks you are capable and um proficient and able to handle this new responsibility.
Yeah.
And obviously your boss has a lot of faith in you. So, and I also think that you don't have to be passionate about your job slash position as well. Like, it is totally okay to do something because it's your job to, but not feel passion about it, because at the end of the day, a job is just a job, right? It's just a way for you to, make money, and if climb the corporate ladder. But at the end of the day, it is just a job. So I don't think passion is required for a job as well. Though
Yeah.
it helps for sure. But
I think passion does help. But I do think like a sidestep wouldn't completely eviscerate you from this job. Like I don't think unless they started treating you like shit, honestly. But like otherwise, I don't see that happening. It
yeah.
seems like a really good company that's trying to treat you fairly. But clearly, they do see something in you that you should take on this opportunity. So yeah, I'm still leaning on. You should go for it.
Yeah. So Popcorn is adding some context in the chat. She says it's more that it's too much work for me on top of my current workload. Wait, it's more that it's too much work for me on top of my current workload, but about changing the framing of my future. Oh, so you're saying you also don't want to you don't want to take this position because it's too much work for you. Like that's another factor. It's not so much a current change, but it is something I want in the future to oversee.
I think then that it's a good step towards that direction then. Because if you want to be someone who oversees, I correct me if I'm wrong, is that what she's saying? You want to be someone who oversees or supervise, then this sounds like it would be leading towards a direction. Could make you a more well-rounded leader too.
Yeah. So Popcorn says she's asking me so that we can frame things for me to oversee it, or if I'm not interested. Oh, I see.
So you would be overseeing it. Is that the case?
Yeah. So I guess eventually. So her boss wants to know if she's interested in overseeing the program eventually. Or if she's just completely not interested, then her boss wouldn't set up the framework for it now. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm still leaning towards do it.
Yeah. And I think if you think about if you regret it, if you don't do it, like personally for me, that helps a lot when I'm trying to make decisions. Like I just think like, will I regret it if I don't do this or if I don't do that? And then based on that, I pick my choice. Because I've regretted not doing things. And usually I regret not doing something more than I regret doing something.
Yeah.
Usually most of my regrets are things that I didn't do. I rarely regret things that I did.
Me too.
So just some point of view there. But yeah, whatever you decide will be behind you.
Yes. I support you, Popcorn.
Yeah. It's essentially her asking me if I would be interested in her job when she moves up, or if I'd want to keep my portion of the department, not corporate giving. Okay. Well, that definitely sounds like, if you do choose to take the responsibility of corporate giving, it'll definitely be an advancement in your career, right? Because you would be taking your boss's job when your boss moves higher up, right? So if you don't take the corporate giving position, then it's like maybe you'll still kind of be stuck in the same place you currently are, right?
What's the fear? What's the actual fear here that's preventing
from too much work? Oh, work and passion?
That you don't have the experience? It's okay to not have the experience though. You had to not have experience before taking several of your jobs in the past, I'm sure. So the only way to learn...
And your boss is clearly... Yeah. Sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, the only way to learn is to do.
Yeah. And yeah, I mean, your boss clearly thinks you're capable of it. So if your boss thinks you are able to do it, then that's clearly the case.
Also, also, I will say, and I don't know if this is calling you out, but I feel like you have passion when it comes to your work reputation, and that's where your passion will be. That's where your drive will be when it comes to taking on roles, is your work reputation.
Yes, that's so true. That's actually really true.
Yeah.
And this will definitely, booster your reputation if you take this position. And because, you know, you care a lot about that, right? Like, you're not going to mess up.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, knowing your personality, you won't, you know, make
Yeah,
mistakes.
and knowing your
Yeah.
previous jobs and your previous work ethic, girl, please.
Yeah.
You're gonna kill it
Yeah.
in a good way.
Yeah. So I think it's okay if you don't have passion for it, because you're gonna be successful no matter what. Like, even if you don't have passion for it, I personally think you'll be successful regardless.
Yeah.
So,
Same. Me
like,
too.
you don't need passion isn't a prerequisite for success.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. Well, we'll be supporting you. I hope that helped answer some of your questions, and I hope the advice helped.
Yes.
Thanks for submitting an advice.
Good luck. Good luck, Popcorn. Thanks for submitting a long response.
Good luck. Yeah, good luck. Good luck.
Okay.
All right.
So next
then moving
one
on to the next one
is from Anonymous Cutie. And it reads, What are some tips you have for learning not to be a perfectionist all the time? I have a bad habit of being a perfectionist with everything I do, and that often ends up leading me to never finishing things. I'm stuck in the mindset of everything has to be perfect or else it's not worth delivering. This is especially true in terms of my content creation. I think I need to learn how to be okay with things being imperfect, and that maybe there is beauty in imperfection, and that often, at least with content creation, it's quantity over quality. However, it's definitely easier said than done. I find myself stressing for hours over the tiniest details, such as export settings, tiniest adjustments, etc., instead of just posting it. How do I make myself comfortable with imperfection? Oh, I know how to answer this. So this is something I feel like I've had to kind of deal with myself. But I think you kind of answered it, Anonymous Cutie. You kind of answered this already in your blurb. But there is art in imperfection. And that is the only way people will watch things nowadays, when you show your own humanity. So the true art is your humanity, is the flaws, is the imperfect things. And that's what people will make you gravitate towards you in the first place, is when you really do show up like that. And like, people who are typically perfectionists with their art probably already have amazing art in the first place. They just don't realize it. And that's just like their own self-critique happening, because they already are critiquing themselves to the utmost, the most that most people would not even see with their own naked eyes, the imperfections. But the person who's creating is always going to be the most harshest critic of the work. But I think it's about the framing the mindset of the imperfections are what people are going to come to anyways, and accepting your own imperfections will showcase through your art, which I feel like authenticity is really the core of showcasing art in the first place. So I don't know, that's kind of my tidbit of, like, especially regarding content creation. Like, I'm trying to get into the mindset, I guess speaking from my own experience here, I'm trying to get into the mindset of just like posting things as more go with the flow than to have such cookie cutter stuff. And even if there's like oopsie daisies in there, it's okay. Like, and I think sometimes spending too much time on something can actually inhibit your art too. I think there gets to a point where enough is enough. It's time to move on. Like, it's time to stop looking back and start time to just be here in the now and move on from it, you know? And I think that's also another added component to dealing with our perfectionism. Yeah. What do you think, Blindfold?
That makes sense. I personally struggle with this a lot. I think what you said was very accurate. Like, there is beauty in imperfection. And I know a lot of the times videos that go viral nowadays are just like random, shaky, blurry videos that's filmed on the iPhone. But people like it because it shows authenticity. authenticity.
Authenticity.
Authenticity.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
that. Yeah. And it's kind of like this behind the scenes mentality where like, you know, some of the most engaging content has a very messy and perfect process. And people relate to that way more than something that's very, you know, polished and defined. And you kind of said this for your response earlier too, where, you know, the more you work on something, it's kind of like taking away time from being in the here and now, and also taking away time from making more content, right? Because like yeah, like you said in the response to like content creation is a lot like quality over quality, right? So I feel like, you know, social media platforms these days care more about the amount that you're posting versus, you know, the quality of what you actually post, because
Right.
like the algorithm loves consistency.
Yep.
So it's better to spend, you know, 2 hours working on, you know, three different TikToks versus 2 hours working on just one TikTok.
Mm-hmm.
um and those TikToks will probably go, you know, reach more people than just your one TikTok. And it's also important to not focus on all like the small minuscule details as well. For example, if you're really focused on like, you know, export settings, right? Like whether you know, export your video out at, you know, like 60 frames versus 30 frames per second, like the average viewer is not going to notice that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Yeah.
don't waste your time and energy stressing about things that the average viewer won't even notice.
Right.
So
Yeah, and you know,
mhm.
I think certain things require more paying attention
Mhm.
to the details, right? And certain things don't really require that. With when it comes to content
Mhm.
creation, I think like you said, like the most viral videos will be the most less messed with, less edited
Mhm.
versions of things. So that's why like in the end sometimes all that time is actually just inhibiting yourself in the process rather than,
Yeah.
you know,
Mhm.
towards the anonymous
Right.
cutie, of course. But yeah, so I
Yeah.
think and it kind of sucks that that's how social media is, where it's like the
Yeah.
quality, it doesn't matter about the
Mhm.
quality, it matters about the quantity. But I know caring about your own art and caring that what you put out there is the way you want it to be. But yeah, just like what you're saying, the algorithms care more about how much you're putting out there than really about the quality of it. And unless you have that
Mhm.
kind of time too, like I think it's also about time management. Like what kind of time do you have to put in
Yeah.
that
Mhm.
amount of said hours, and your output is like just one. So I think it's also a matter
Yeah.
of what's the priority here. Is the priority quality? Okay, then the priority is quality. But if the priority is to have more of an output, then you kind of have to do a little bit of sacrificing of the quality.
Mhm. Yeah, that's true. Sometimes it's nice to have both, but sometimes you can't have both. And you
Yeah.
can't also work on a reel or a TikTok forever. There's got to be a stopping point.
Yeah.
like like for me personally, sometimes I export a video out like 8 times because I'm like, oh, I always see something wrong with it. But
Yeah.
there comes a point where I'm just like, you know, it's time to stop. It's fine, just post it. So,
Yeah.
and I think content these days, like people, like the average viewer is not gonna care about like your export settings, right? The average viewer is not gonna care about if a video is in 1080p or 4K. Like they're just gonna care about the actual like content. Like if
Yeah.
the content, you know, connects with them, if the content makes them laugh, if it helps them in some way, like they're not gonna care about the little minuscule details. So don't
So
stress too
true.
much about that.
So true. Yeah, I agree. Most social media is about how you connect with other people. So it really
Yeah.
isn't about your
Hmm.
content. It's really about other people and the way they view it and
Yeah.
stuff.
Connection. Yeah.
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 But good luck.
Yes. Good
We'll
luck.
be
I
cheering
believe in
for
you.
you.
I believe in you.
Thank you, cutie. Okay. Next one. Am I reading this one?
Oh, I don't.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah, yeah, because you
Okay.
read the last one. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Okay. So this is by another anonymous cutie. What advice would you give to someone about to do their mocks at school before they move on to their final year of secondary school? So I assume you may live in a European region. Um, so I'm assuming secondary school is like high school, right? And then mocks are like practice exams.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking. Yeah.
Practice. I mean, honestly, like I'm just trying to like rewind to my school years. Um, yeah, like the best way that I will feel comfortable before taking any test is literally just practicing. Like I literally just do, a bunch of practice exams, like practice tests until I feel ready, you know? But also, I guess like mocks are practice exams, right? So what advice would you
Yeah.
give to someone about to do their practice exam? Like just be ready for it. Like you could do practice exams for the practice exam, just like get comfortable with the material. Maybe look over your notes more, do some additional studying, outside of class time, and also make sure to get a lot of sleep the day before. Make sure you're in a good space. You're feeling calm. You've ate. You've taken care of yourself and stuff like that. But yeah, just do whatever you can to feel comfortable. And for me, that's just honestly a lot of practice. But what do you think, Kayak?
Yeah, I think everything you said is basically how I did it. I've only taken a few practice exams. I never heard it being called a mock exam, but I'm assuming, yeah,
I feel
practice
like it's
exam.
like a European thing. Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe. Um, but the way that I prepared, I'm going to be totally honest. I was not really a study girly pop. I would probably review and then like take online practice tests and then just kind of wing it to see what happens. I did do one practice exam that really was like it facilitated the exam exactly how it was supposed to be for the actual exam. And I did like have like there's books where you can prepare. There's like workbooks and stuff like that. And I did prepare through there, but I didn't really put a lot of time and effort because I thought as long as I knew how the exam was going to look like, then that would really help me to actually take the exam and also see where my weaknesses are at. So I can see like, okay, I struggled with history, for example, or I struggled with the essay writing portion. Then I would know what I needed to work on before the actual exam. So I think practice exams are a really good thing to see where you are a little more weaker at. And that can help you for the actual exam. Definitely take care of yourself too. Get good sleep. Sleep really matters. That helps your brain to actually keep everything you were trying to memorize inside and locked in your brain. So get sleep and eat well. Yeah, I think that's
Yeah.
the
And
best
don't
I can
stress
say.
out too much about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone takes tests.
Whatever score you get. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead. I keep interrupting you.
No, I interrupted you this time.
uh, I was just saying that no matter whatever the result is, in the long run, long run, like maybe it doesn't really matter. I don't know. So I mean, personally, I like look back on school and I'm like, none of that really mattered. Maybe
Yeah.
this is bad advice. Just kidding. Don't listen to me. But
I mean, you're kind of not wrong though, because it's like a lot of the tests that I had to take, they don't even apply nowadays. Like a lot of people don't even have to take the SAT. I had to take the SAT, but you don't
oh,
have
they
to do
don't.
that for school anymore.
Oh,
No, you don't have to. Or
really?
maybe the requirement is
Oh,
different now, but from what I hear, you don't have really, they don't really prioritize that
really
anymore. Yeah.
interesting. Well, I took the SAT 3 times.
Yeah, I took it 3 times too, actually.
Yeah, I took the SAT 3 times, and I took the ACT 3 times too.
Oh, I
I
didn't do
took
that.
both. I took both 3 times. It was because I really wanted a 30 on the ACT, so I kept taking it until I got the score I wanted.
Oh my gosh. Well, I took the practice SAT exam and then I didn't do the
Oh, the
ACT.
PSAT.
Yeah, the PSAT, yeah.
Oh, the PSAT. I took that too.
Yeah, and then I
Yeah, I
took the
think we were
actual
required to take
SAT.
that in school.
Oh, really?
Mm,
Uh,
yeah.
yeah, I didn't do the ACT.
Yeah, I did both 3 times. Now I'm looking back on it. I'm like, wow, what a waste of money because I had to pay for it myself. I'm like,
Oh
it was
my
like
gosh. Yeah. I
$30.
forgot
Yeah, it was
about
like
that.
$30 each exam. I'm like, oh, what a waste of money. Should have
I
just taken it once.
I also took the ASVAB.
I don't
Crazily
know what that
enough.
is.
It's like the
What is that?
test to see what you qualify in the military. Yeah, I took
Oh,
that test
interesting.
too, just to see. I forgot what I got
Huh,
though.
interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah. I remember I got a really high score on the SAT actually. It was like 15 something. But I know they changed it because it only goes up to like 1200 or something. But in the past, it used to go up to 1600.
And I forget, but I know my score was
Yeah.
like average, like a little towards above average, but it was average. I think I got like
Yeah.
1300 or 1200.
That's
Yeah.
really good. Because I think back then, the high was like 1600. But now they changed it. Because they keep changing things these days. But yeah, I look back on all that because I remember I studied so much for all those tests, like AP tests and whatnot. I studied so much. I'm like, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, I feel like I've been like this, huh? Yeah, for AP tests, I didn't even take my AP test.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Did you have to pay for it?
Yeah, I think I had to pay for it and I just didn't
Okay,
want
so
to.
our school paid for it, so it was free for us. My high school paid for it, so I
Well,
just took it.
yeah, I would too if I could do that. I think you had to pay for it and I just
Yeah.
was not willing to.
Well, AP tests did matter, as in like it. You didn't have to pay money for college classes, but it didn't matter in the sense that if you got a 4 or a 5, it's still this. It still gives you the same credit,
Yeah.
for college. So I was like stressing. I was like, I need a 5, but then I'm like, yeah, it doesn't matter. So
Yeah. It all worked out.
but also a lot of the AP classes I took that I got credit for in college, it actually didn't apply to my major because I had an art major. So all the science and math AP classes I took didn't even apply. So I'm like,
Wow.
okay,
I mean,
it
yeah,
didn't even matter towards my major.
that's the same with me. Like it's a good thing I didn't take the AP test because the AP test I would have taken would be like USA government and that did not apply to my
Oh,
I was a
yeah.
science
Yeah.
major, so that did not apply to what I
Mhm.
was studying anyways.
Mhm. Oh my gosh, I loved A Push. It was so fun. That was one of my favorite classes.
Really?
AP US
I
history.
learned a
I love
lot.
history. Yeah, I took AP US history, AP World History, and AP Euro History. I loved history. I had a really good history teacher.
Oh, I wish I loved history like you did. I didn't love it. I love it more
It's like,
now.
for me, it's like reading a book, like reading a story.
Yeah, true.
So that's why I liked it.
I liked it more in college.
Anyway,
Yeah.
oh yeah, yeah, that's valid.
But anyway, sorry.
Um,
Back to
yeah. Anyway,
Anonymous.
thanks for the
Yes.
question.
Thank you.
So good luck with our mocks. We'll be cheering for
Yes.
you. Don't stress out too much.
You got
Relax,
this.
and you got this. Yeah, you got this.
Yes. Yes.
You have the power of the cuties behind you.
Yes. All right. Next question. This is from AJ. How do you cope with cutting off childhood friends because they're homophobic and unaccepting of you? Oh, this is good. This is good.
Ooh,
Not your circumstance, but this is a good question. Sorry.
Yeah, not your
Sorry. Let me
circumstance.
clarify that.
Good
Yes.
question.
Sorry. Yeah, first let me say, I know how it feels to cut off long-term friends because of their disrespectful treatment. And first off, I want to say I'm so sorry that's even happening to you in the first place and that they're being homophobic and unaccepting of you. Coping through it, I mean, with time, it will go away. But the best thing is no one deserves to be friends with someone who's unaccepting of them. That would just be torturous. And you deserve you deserve to be around people who accept you and who aren't homophobic, who understand you and see you. And you standing up for yourself and cutting off that really shows how much, well, one, that you love yourself. You love yourself enough to get away from people who don't light you up, who actually drain you. And it's really big to make that step. And it's really difficult too. because it's hard to say no to someone who you love. But in the end, your future self will thank you for it. As far as coping throughout that, yeah, like I said, time and reframing the perspective of you don't want to be around someone who's going to be an absolute disrespectful person towards you. Friendship breakups are very difficult, and it's kind of hard to say just get over it, because it's going to take time. It's going to take seeing other friendships that you make that show you a different love that you never thought you would get, that will make you realize, yeah, that friend was trash. That was a trash friend. And I think that's why I say with time, with the new friendships you make in the future, or with the current friendships you have, you will discover love that you are meant to have in your life. So yeah, I mean, I just block them too. That's what I choose to do. I choose to block. I choose to remove them off of social media because I need space and time to get over it. And it hurts. It hurts to do that. But that's the way that I choose to respect myself in that process, is to remove them, remove the pictures if they cause me more harm, or put the pictures away, and remove things that remind me of them for the time being, or throw them away if that's what you want to do. I've seen people burn stuff as a way of kind of removing the energy from you, and as a symbol of letting go, is like burning something, maybe a picture of them. I've seen people do that too. I've also done that myself, or just like burning a photo as a ritual of letting go. So it really is about what you believe in and your process within that. But those are some examples that I've done to cope through breakup process. And yeah. What do you think?
Yeah, you definitely don't deserve them. They don't deserve you.
Yes,
Yeah,
that's the
sorry, that's what I meant. That's what I meant. They definitely don't deserve you because, you don't want to be friends, or honestly, you don't even want to be associated with someone that's homophobic and unaccepting, right? Like, if they reject you, like if they reject your sexuality, that's literally rejecting everything that makes you you.
Exactly.
So they should be ashamed. Like, especially you said you're childhood friends with them, right? That means you've been, I don't know how old you are, but you've been friends with them for a very long time, since childhood. They're homophobic and not accepting of who you are as a whole person. I feel like sexuality is such a vulnerable thing to talk about, and you showed vulnerability in, I'm assuming like you told them about your sexuality, right? If you are on the queer side, and the fact that they are still discriminatory towards you because of their own beliefs just shows how terrible of a person they are, right? Like, just like, you deserve better people in your life.
Definitely.
Like, they don't deserve being friends with you. They don't deserve having you as a presence in their lives. And they should, like, just, like, you deserve so much better. You deserve so much love. And just think, like, they're childhood friends, right? That's in your childhood. Leave that in the past. Childhood things belong in the past, okay? Make new friends. You are able to make new friends that are completely different from them. You are able to meet new people, make new friends that are, that love who you are. People that you actually deserve. So
definitely.
yeah, I mean, like Kayak said, it's really hard for sure, just cutting off friends, like especially like childhood friends, like people you've known your whole lives. You have so much history together. And again, like, I don't know how like old you are, like what age you are, but if you're on the younger side, maybe like, teenager, or like early 20s, or even like mid 20s, like it might seem like these childhood friends have been with you like your entire life. Childhood friends, like they've been with you like a significant portion of your life, but eventually, like, you'll discover and find new people, and your life is so much longer, than the portion that makes up your childhood. So I'm sure that soon you'll meet new people, and much more loving and wonderful people. that love you for who you are and everything that makes you you. And the time that you will spend with these new people that are even more loving and accepting of who you fully are, the time that you spend with them will end up being longer than the time you've spent with your childhood friends. So it's definitely hard now, like the amount of history and time that you've had together. But then again, do you really want to remember that history together if they're homophobic and unaccepting? Right? Like sometimes you can think about moments that you've shared with, friends, and you can kind of get like a hindsight bias, right? Where you only think of the golden periods and the golden times, and sometimes you forget about the bad and negative moments. But I think it's also important to not let nostalgia blind you and remember the times that they were homophobic, the times they were unaccepting, and all of that bad stuff. And if you remember more of that, then it'll feel easier to kind of leave them behind in the past and move forward with your life. But yeah, it's really hard for sure, and I'm very sorry that you're going through the situation. Like, you don't deserve to be around people that are homophobic and accepting. Like, you deserve so much better.
Yeah,
So
definitely. And I think just like basing off what you're saying about them being homophobic and
mhm.
unaccepting, that's already coming from a place of being hateful, honestly, versus
Yeah,
coming from a
exactly.
place of respect and love, which you deserve. So
Hmm.
definitely, I'm so sorry you're going through that, but you will thank
Hmm.
yourself later for making this decision if you're not thanking yourself now already.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like, by cutting them off, like don't hesitate, like don't like debate over it, but like by cutting them off, you will ultimately give yourself more peace and love than you had before with those people. Um, and yeah, like I feel like by cutting them off, you're actually doing yourself a favor. You're showing love to yourself by cutting off people that actively hurt you and prevent you from loving yourself. So
Yep.
yeah, it's really hard, but ultimately it's gonna be for the better, and it's gonna be good for you. And um yeah, yeah, but yeah, it's really hard.
Yeah. You got this. I believe in you
Hmm.
and moving forward. It's hard, but you got it.
Yes, you got it. We'll be cheering for you.
Yes. Okay, next one.
Okay.
Is it your turn to
Next
read?
one. Yes, I had this dream for a long time to move to another country, somewhere in Europe or the UK, and start a new life. But the idea of selling everything and leaving my family is overwhelming. But I also don't want to regret not ever doing it. Do you think it's worth doing? Selling everything, leaving my family, and moving abroad? Is it a risk worth to take? And this is by
Mm,
Anonymous Cutie. That's a good one. Okay, so I think that if it's really a dream that you've had for a long time, kind of this kind of ties a little back into our previous response that Popcorn had, kind of like she was like thinking about if she wanted to do something or not.
mm-hmm.
And I'm honestly leaning towards just doing it, because especially if you've had this dream for a long time, uh then if you never do it, right, you'll never know if you like it or dislike it. And like I said earlier for Popcorn's question too, like a lot of the choices, I think, if I'm struggling between two choices, whether to do something or not to do something, I think about which one I'll regret doing, not doing, or doing more. And I usually always regret not doing something versus the times I regret doing something,
Mm-hmm.
so the fact that this dream of yours has persisted for such a long time, that indicates it's more than just like a daydream that you have in your head. It suggests that it's actually something that you want to do in your heart. That it's something that actually pulls at your heart and soul that you want to do, right? Um, but it's definitely really hard. Don't get me wrong. Like you said in your response, the idea of selling everything and leave my family is very overwhelming, especially if all your family is located. I'm assuming you live in the U.S. So especially if your family is located in the U.S. and like just going to a whole different country all by yourself, that's definitely very intimidating and very very hard. But I feel like you'll also have so many new experiences that you would have never experienced if you just stayed in the same place. So it's kind of the same thing. Like, if you want to grow, you have to step out of your comfort zone and do the things that make you scared. You have to do the things that make you feel afraid, because you're never gonna grow as a person if you always stay in your comfort zone. So
So true.
yeah, so I feel like it's always better for me to regret, you know, to do something, and maybe like you'll regret it if like it doesn't work out as you hoped, but the strength of the regret, the feeling of the regret is always stronger if you don't do it. If you regret not doing it, that feeling is always stronger than if like you actually do it and you regret it. Because if you actually do it, then you're like, okay, now I know if I like it or I don't like it. And then, you know, even if you move, you know, overseas, right, like if you don't like it, you can always move back. You know, you're not stuck there forever, right? So if you have the financial means to do so, um, definitely do it, because even if you move, you know, you're not stuck there forever either.
Mm-hmm.
So
So true.
yeah.
Yeah, I would agree with everything that Blindfold said. There is so much power in doing the thing that makes you uncomfortable, but there's always that excitement
Mm-hmm.
behind it too, or a challenge for yourself, but you know that challenge would lead to growth, and
Mm-hmm.
taking that step is difficult. There are plenty of people who have done it, and who have said that it's worth it, and it might be the case for you, but you would never know unless you actually take that step
Yeah.
to do so. And like Blindfold said, you can always come back from wherever you end up going. So yeah, it would be a risk worth to take, because you can always do it, and then if you change your mind, you can always come back, as long as you're well prepared for that too, because I know
Mm-hmm.
moving to another
Yes.
country would be fairly expensive, or have a lot of expenses in taking place. So as long as you have that
Mm-hmm.
taken care of, I think you will be just fine. But definitely
I
a
would.
difficult choice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. I would say you could also try exploring like a middle ground as well. Like you don't necessarily have to like immediately like sell everything, leave your family, move abroad, right? Maybe you can try like a kind of like a study abroad program. Like you don't have to sell everything at first, so keep your place in the United States, which I'm assuming is where you're from. So maybe like go live there for like 2 months and see how that feels, and then come back, and like if that feels good, you can continue, consider extending the amount of time you're there, and eventually if you really like it, you could just sell everything and then move abroad, right?
True that.
But you could definitely do this kind of like trial um period where you just kind of like live there for a month or two and see, you know, how you like it or not. Just like test the waters first before you fully commit to it.
Yeah. I
um
think
like you don't necessarily have to like sell everything and
yeah.
just go.
Yeah, I think one thing my therapist always tells me is, she's like, the great thing is that you don't have to make a decision right away. You don't have to,
Yeah.
you can still
Hmm.
ponder on it, or you can plan for it eventually, but it doesn't have to happen right
Hmm.
this second either. Um, but like keep processing it and plan for it. But I think finding a middle ground, or even just like taking a trip, seeing what you like about the place, seeing what,
Hmm.
if you can picture yourself living there, put yourself in scenarios that make it feel like, okay, I'm going to be living here. How would this go? And all that stuff. And then maybe that can help bring more motivation towards your dream later on.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. I totally agree. And it might also help to like kind of write down what specifically draws you to this dream. Like, is it because you want a different lifestyle? Do you want to grow as a person? Do you want to go on an adventure? Like, do you want to do like find like career opportunities? Like, I think it might also help to write these things down and understand like your deeper motivations.
Mm,
Um, Kind of like just to see like why you want to do this
mm-hmm.
exactly, like why you've had this dream. And understanding your deeper motivations might help you like evaluate, you know, is this something I can only achieve by moving abroad, or is this something I can also do by staying here, you know?
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Definitely. Good question.
yeah.
Yeah.
But yes, good luck. And sorry, one last thing. And I think you said like leaving your family and like selling everything, but you also don't have to do that to move abroad. Like you don't have to sell everything. Like I'm sure if you have like family or friends, you can, keep your stuff there at their places, or even like storage options and stuff in the
Mm-hmm.
country. And like by moving abroad, you're also like not necessarily like leaving your family. Like you can, like, a lot of people still maintain close family bonds across different continents. So you're not like, don't try to think of it as like leaving your family. But I know like proximity and distance definitely helps for like, support and shared experiences. But you should think of it as, you just won't be there physically, I guess.
Yeah.
But you're not ending your family relationships just because you're farther away.
It's a good point, because
Yeah.
speaking from experience, like I have a mom who lives abroad, and she's lived abroad for a lot of my life.
Mm-hmm.
And although
Okay.
like that has changed our relationship, but in some ways our relationship, going through all that and still having that distance, we've gotten closer in many different ways. And he even like traveled
Mm-hmm.
together, or have met halfway in order to
Yeah.
see one
Mm-hmm.
another, kind of thing. So there's still opportunities to see your family, even though you'll be far away for some certain time. But I also, one more thing is that, you know, stepping away from family is difficult, but I think there's a lot of power in choosing the thing that you've always wanted to do. And I think that is difficult when
Mm-hmm.
it comes with its sacrifices, but I think in the long run it would still be very powerful in terms of your
Yeah.
growth.
Mm-hmm. And like, you only have one life, so you should do as much as you can, live as much as you can with the one life that you have.
Yeah. Yeah. Good luck. Good luck.
Yeah. Good luck.
Yes. Okay.
Okay.
Next question.
Um,
Um
well, the next two questions are kind of similar. Do you just want to combine them?
that's true, huh? Okay. So
Yeah.
this is should we say their names? Yeah.
Yes.
So this is from both Andrew and Haley. Andrew asked the question of, how do I make K-pop friends as a guy? And Haley asked, how do you meet new friends as an adult? So they kind of go a little
Yeah.
hand in
So
hand.
kind of similar.
Yeah. Do you have an answer to that?
Sure. Yeah. Sure. Yeah. Okay. How do you make new friends as an adult? It is very challenging to make. I'm just gonna talk more about Haley's question first. How do you make new friends as an adult? It is very challenging as an adult to make friends. Like personal experience. Like I made so many friends in high school slash college, and then once I entered the workforce, I'm like, okay, well, that's that. Because you can be friends with your coworkers, but sometimes there's still like a boundary, because like they're your coworkers, so like you might not want to be their friend. So there's like a boundary there. But other than like going to work every day, that's like it. Like you don't really see anyone else as an adult. That's where you kind of have to like take the initiative and maybe go to join like events.
Mhm.
You can
Mhm.
even go to like a bar, or there's a lot of like things on Facebook. You can find like local events in your area. And going to Andrew's question, how do I make K-pop friends as a guy? Like I'm sure if you live close to like a big city, there's always K-pop events in like big cities. So you could honestly just look it up in like Facebook. I know there's always events posted on there, or Instagram, and like just making new friends as an adult. Like just try to join activities based on what you enjoy, like whether that's like K-pop or maybe like a book club, a board game meetup. I recently just found out where I live, there's actually a mahjong club where they teach you how to play mahjong and people just play mahjong together. I'm
That's
like, wow,
cool.
that's so cool. Oh, or even volunteering. Like I think volunteering is a great way to meet new people too.
Yeah.
Um, and like just joining these events and activities could give you regular opportunities to see the same people, which could eventually lead to a bond and like a natural friendship. And then even like at work, right? I know it's hard to make friends, especially if you don't want to like make friends with your coworkers. But I know a lot of like workplaces, they also have like social events, like office social events. So you could consider joining that too. Um, also not like if you don't want to join like events and activities, sometimes maybe if you join a fitness class, you know, maybe you can make friends there, or even just becoming a like regular at like a coffee shop or a bar, um, you could potentially become friends with people who also frequently visit the same place as well. But yeah, it's definitely a lot harder to make friends as an adult. So you kind of really have to try and go out of your way to do that. Whereas, as a kid, you're in school, you're in college, you join like or organizations and stuff. So you kind of make friends naturally as a kid, but as an adult, you kind of have to initiate that. So it can definitely be very challenging. Um,
Yeah.
and and also don't underestimate making friends online as well. And obviously, internet safety, you got to be careful and all that. But I've made a lot of really close friends online, like Koolkayak, like don't underestimate making friends online, whether that's like joining Discord servers or, going on forums or just finding communities like Reddit, I don't know, like communities online that are interested in the same hobby as you. So Andrew, like how do you make K-pop friends? Literally just joining K-pop servers, joining K-pop groups. Like there's so many online. Like literally join my Discord server. You can make a bunch of friends that way, Um so yeah, like and online communities can also translate to real world friendships as well. Like Kayak and I met up in person too. Um
True.
but obviously, be careful, of people you meet on the internet. But
Yeah.
there are a lot of websites and apps out there that can help you find groups and even local groups for specific hobbies and interests. So that definitely don't underestimate the power of the internet.
Definitely. Thank you for answering the first question for K-pop friends, because I wasn't sure how to answer that.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as like generally speaking, how to meet new friends as an adult, I feel like you answered that the same way I would have answered it. The ways that I have made new friends have been through similar interests, taking classes, online, putting myself out there online, or putting myself in communities online and making friends through that way. I have met a lot of people in person from online, which has been really amazing, just like Blindfold. And
Yeah, you have.
but there's a lot of people in my community who I've also met in person, just
Mm-hmm.
by meeting them online or even through meeting them on TikTok, honestly. And then they just cross over to Twitch too. So it's online friends really does happen. Of course, there's a lot of safety that goes along with that, and especially as a woman, and that comes with its
Mm-hmm.
own things with
Yeah.
safety. But yeah, just be careful and mindful. Listen to your gut. But yeah, and I think just as far as in person goes, like the way that I've been putting myself out there, because I've been kind of like starting over in terms of friendships in real life. Um, but the way that I've been doing that is I also volunteer for an organization revolving around creativity. But I'm
Mm-hmm.
also like, because I'm entering new jobs, I meet people through the gigs that I get, and that gets me to
Mm-hmm.
connect with other people. So there's a lot of ways to do it, but I'm meeting people just by putting myself out there through similar interests or passion projects. And that's been my way. I've also met people because I was a regular for a cafe too, just like you were saying. Or
Yeah.
like
Oh, that's
I was
awesome.
a regular for a sushi restaurant, and all the people who worked there got to know me too. So, there are
Mm-hmm.
ways to put yourself out there and make friends as an adult. It does take getting out of your comfort zone, especially if you're an introvert. But the more that you do it, the better you get at it. And soon enough, it'll just naturally and organically happen when you cross paths with someone who feels like someone you would be tight knit with. So, yeah, it's just
Mm-hmm.
about being open to that and putting yourself out there, really, as an adult.
Yeah,
We're no longer in
for
spaces
sure.
where we can be in the same class as someone all the time. I think that's how we can make friends, and in school and
Mm-hmm.
throughout college is because we're in the same similar circumstance for a long period of time. And that's why a lot of people make friends when they're in their workplace. But if you want to make friends outside of your workplace, then yeah, you definitely got to just like put yourself out there. And that's the hardest part, I think, is just like making that step.
Yeah, for sure. And friendships don't happen like immediately. They take time to grow naturally. So don't put pressure on yourself to
Mm-hmm.
form instant close bonds. Like sometimes the best friendships come from, casual acquaintances that gradually become more important in
Yes.
your life. So it just takes time. So don't there's no rush in it. So just and don't be like weird or creepy either. Just, be yourself.
Right. I
Um, and oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say there's a similar question ahead about how and where
Mhm.
do you meet new people, and that's kind of what
Oh,
we've been talking
yeah.
about.
Okay, yeah, we can talk about that too.
Because I feel like this all still goes with the same
Yes,
thing.
yes.
But
Mhm.
I've even met people when I went to a concert by myself, and I found other solo concert people who just wanted to see this musician, and like we just happened to be standing next to one another and started talking more about like, oh yeah, we go to see concerts by ourselves all the
Mhm.
time, because the whole idea of waiting for someone to get their ticket and then they last minute choose not to go is like, or like the fact that you're waiting until a friend can go but then friends can't go, so you're just kind of on your own. It's like, well, I'm just going to go
Mhm.
alone. So like when those people have all, there's a lot of these encounters have turned into just encounters, or they've remained acquaintances. And a very select few
Mhm.
out of all the things that I've been through with like meeting people and stuff, um, just like you were saying, like have ended up where I become close friends or just friends or best friends with even.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
you just never know where it will lead to. And I think it's about the openness of, talking to people and seeing what happens.
Yeah, for sure. I totally agree. And I just thought of another thing like if y- just think about like what hobbies and interests you have and just try to kind of zone in on that. For example, if you're a big like anime fan, like anime conventions are some of the best ways to meet people. um and if like a particular sport, you know go join a club or a group that plays that sport, or even like just showing up at the court. There are going to be people who play that same sport as you, and if you play with them, you can definitely you know make friends and talk to them and be friendly. And um yeah, and I wanted to go back to Andrew's questions on specifically like how do I make K-pop friends as a guy. So um if your like K-pop fandom is like mostly female, and I don't think it matters like what gender you are. Like you can make friends with anyone, right? But I think it's really thoughtful and mindful of you to consider how to and like enter the space respectfully, especially if the fandom in your area is mostly like female dominant. So it's very thoughtful for you to like consider that in the first place. Um, but I would say like just there isn't really a way to do it. Like just be a good person. Like be respectful of the space. Like I feel like a lot of female fans appreciate having their own space where they can express their love for K-pop, right? Like freely. So just like respect them. I don't know, it's just like being a good person, right? Like listen, and like honestly, like your gender, I don't like it doesn't matter. Like I feel like the your interest and love for K-pop matters more than your gender, right? Like trying to befriend new people. Like don't think about like you being a guy if you're trying to like enter a space full of women. Like just think about your love for K-pop and start conversating with people as like a genuine fan of K-pop. Like come from a place of authenticity.
Yes.
Right, right, like come from a place of authentic interest in K-pop, and through that you can learn to not learn you can make new friends through the shared interest of K-pop. I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, it does. I think that's
Yeah,
a good answer.
so be an ally, like be an ally,
Yeah,
right? Like
yeah.
and just yeah, like let people get to know you not as like a guy in K-pop, but just like another fan. you know?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, because we're all here because of our love for K-pop. Like, we're not here because of like gender, you know?
Yeah. 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 I feel like that's all I had for those questions.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, thank you so much for asking them. Andrew, Haley, and wait.
No.
Oh, Andrew, Haley, and Hui Hui Hui.
Heal, 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 heal.
Yes, thank you so much for asking, and I hope you found our advice helpful.
Yes. Good luck.
Okay.
I hope you meet friends.
Cool.
Many friends.
Yes, yes, yes. And you
Okay.
can always join our Discords and come to our Twitch channels
Yes.
at twitch.tv/Koolkayak.
Definitely. And twitch.tv
and
slash blindfoldhero.
Yeah. For more friends. Yay! Okay.
Yeah.
Next question.
Yes.
My 10-year high school reunion is coming up. What should I talk about? What shouldn't I talk about? I'm unsure if I accomplished a lot compared to my peers. A lot of them are married, have high paying jobs, travel the world, etc. And this is from Uncertain Peer. Oh, cool. High school reunion. Okay, that's fun. Well, first of all, props to you for going, because I don't know if I would go to my high school reunion, but
I did not go.
that's really fun and exciting for you. I know it can definitely feel intimidating because it's like people you haven't seen in 10 years. Like, I feel anxious. Like, okay, so recently, like a few weeks ago, I met a friend of mine that I haven't seen since college, which was like 4 years ago. And I felt so anxious before seeing him because I was like, oh my gosh, I haven't seen him in so long. It's like 4 years. But you know, like 10 years so long. That's literally a decade. So that can be so intimidating and nerve wracking and anxiety inducing. But I guess just remember that everyone is also kind of like dealing with that same form of like nervousness and anxiety. Even those who seem to have it all figured out, because people, no one ever has it figured out, okay? Like, no one is ever 100% successful or accomplished, okay? Everyone's has their own demons and everyone has their own struggles. So I'm sure a lot of people are also thinking the same things and having the same worries as you, like the same people that are going to your high school reunion. So don't stress out too much about it. And you're saying that you're not sure if you accomplished a lot compared to your peers, but I'm sure you have accomplished a lot. Like, just maybe you're not married, you know, maybe you haven't traveled the world, but think about other ways that you other things that you have done, maybe like personal growth. I feel like that is also very big and very, very genuine, right? But I guess in terms of like your questions, what should I talk about, what shouldn't I talk about, I feel like good conversation topics, like, just be like genuine, be authentic, like just be yourself. You can ask about what they're doing, like what they're currently passionate about, whether that's work, hobbies, families. I just feel like 10 years is such a long time to have not seen people. There's like so much to talk about. Like, you can literally ask anything. I feel like that's a really good like, there's so many really good segues to conversation, because you can literally talk about anything. You literally have 10 years of catching up to do, right? Oh, also, it could be fun to reminisce about like memories and moments that you've had from high school, right? Like, that could be really fun. um and yeah, what do you think, Kayak?
So at least referencing I'm unsure if I accomplished a lot compared to my peers. I feel like just like how beauty is in the eyes of the beholder, I feel like success is also in the eyes of the beholder. Based off of what you're talking about here, it seems like you're comparing what success is to you to how you perceive success in other people. You truly don't know what's going on in their life. We know what you see on the outside is not necessarily what happens on the inside either. So that's something to keep in mind. We're all human here, and we're all on the same level here. Like, nobody's above, nobody is below. And so, like,
And I think,
go ahead.
oh, I was just saying, I think for reunions, most people can Google your LinkedIn, right? Like, people can Google your resume. But for these reunions, I feel like people are there to see who you've become as a person and not just what you've achieved on paper, right? Like, people are there to see who you are right now. Like, they don't care about like your like life stats, I guess. Because if they cared about that, they could just look you up on Facebook to see if you're married. They could just look up what job you have on LinkedIn. Look up if you travel the world on Instagram. Like, all of that could be public knowledge to them, but they're here at this reunion to see who you are as a person right now, and not your, resume stats, right? So I would say just focus on being present and in the moment, and ask questions. Um, and yeah, just, be genuine and be yourself.
Yeah, and I think a question to ask is, what is your intention with going? Why do you want to go? I think that can
Oh, that's a
also
good one.
help
That's a good one.
navigate how to have conversations. If you're curious to know what they've been doing with their jobs, or if they've gotten married, or what milestones they've had in their life, then that's something worth asking. But I think adding the judgment part is the part where the fear of like people judging, what you have or have not done. I think what really matters
Mm-hmm.
here is what happened in your life that you're most proud of. I think that's the biggest thing. What are you most proud of in your life, and what do you want to
Yeah.
share with others regarding what you're most proud of in your life? And I think the best thing out of all this is just to reconnect with people who you once were close to, or who you remember from high school. And I think that's just the main point. And even if you get nothing out of it in terms of, fostering better friendships from this, you at least got to know the people who you once knew in the past. And I think this is all
Mm-hmm.
about you. At the end of the day, this is all about you, because you don't know what you're going to get out of this
Yes.
anyways. So might as well
Right.
go into it authentically and like see what happens.
Yeah, and you don't ever have to see them again, right?
True.
Like, if you haven't seen them for the past 10 years, like, it would be awesome to like continue start a new relationship with them. But also, if you haven't seen them for the past 10 years, you don't have to see them for the next 10 years or the next 10 years after that. Like, just think about maybe, if you're not feeling it, you never have to see them again. Like, honestly, like, if you haven't seen them in 10 years, they're literally strangers at this point.
Yeah,
Like, people
exactly.
change so much. Like, a decade, like 10 years ago, I was a different person. Like,
Same.
I was a completely different person. So you're basically meeting strangers for the first time. So I guess, a good tip would just be pretend you don't know them, like, and just chat like you're meeting someone for the first time.
Yeah,
But it would also be fun to reminisce about, mutual experiences and shared history together in high school as well.
definitely.
But yeah, like, just be yourself.
Yeah. Honestly, I never went to mine. I don't even know if mine
Hmm.
hosted one. But
I don't think, yeah.
the reason why I chose not to go was because I honestly don't
Hmm.
remember a lot of people from high school.
Hmm.
Like, I remember
No,
faces,
that's
but
so
I don't remember
valid.
names.
Mm,
It's been so long.
that's so valid.
I don't talk to a lot of people from high school anymore, so that's also an
Hmm.
added reason as to,
Yeah.
like, the past is the
I
past.
was the quiet kid in high school, so I'm honestly curious on if anyone remembers me outside of like the friend group I had in high school.
Same.
Outside of the friend group I had, and like those other people, do they even remember me? Because I
Right?
was literally the shy kid that never like talked. So I
Oh.
was the I was the NPC in the background. I was a background character. So I don't know if
Yeah.
any of them remember me. I don't know if I would
Same.
even get an invite.
Same, honestly. So, yeah, make sure you go back to your
Yeah.
why and then use that as fuel on what kind of questions you want to ask. I think
Mhm.
that's start with
Yeah.
yourself and then put it out there.
Yeah. Good luck. You got
Yeah, hope you
this.
have fun.
Yes. Have fun. Let us know how it goes.
Okay, next one. Um, this is from Danny. What do you
Ooh.
do to get yourself out of a content block and move forward with creating content? Oh, this is a really good question. I think
Yeah.
I
Okay.
struggle with this. I struggle with this a lot, where I'll
Hmm.
go through phases of I don't know what to post, and sometimes I just don't post for a while, and then once I get a surge, I'm back at it. And currently, I'm in the phase of I am posting regularly, but I am scared of the moment where I'm like, I don't know what to post now. So I'm gonna
Yeah.
direct this question to you, Blindfold, because I feel like
Okay.
you may have something more to offer here.
Okay. I've definitely been into huge content blocks. So what I do to get out of a content block is that I literally watch other people's reels. I just start scrolling. On TikTok, on Instagram. I just start scrolling and I see what other people create and I look at the trends that are currently viral, like viral songs, viral trends. Like, what are people currently doing now? And usually by that point, there's a trend I haven't done yet. And then I make my own version of that trend. There's actually a lot I haven't done yet. And usually I see an inspiration, like I see a reel that someone created. And I was like, oh, this is a really cool reel. I'm going to take that idea and convert it into my own, niche. So I feel like a lot of idea, like there is no original idea anymore. All ideas are recycled. So what I do is I literally just use other people's ideas and I change it and turn it into my niche. So if people have a cool trend about, I don't know, I'm just gonna say something random like a book. I just take it and turn it into something twice related. Um, so that's number one for me if I'm in a block is I find inspiration. Number two is that I try to come up with an original idea. So I think about something that I'm doing or have done, currently or in the past week. And I'm like, how do I turn this into content? So it can literally be a vlog. Maybe I'm like, oh, tomorrow I'm going to this event. Let me just vlog it and I'll turn it into content. Like you can literally turn things in your life into content. Like Pokimane said she's dog sitting currently and she's just gonna turn that into content. Like making vlogs is a super easy content idea. And they don't even have to be like long like YouTube vlogs, right? They can literally just be like shorts, like you post on TikTok slash Instagram. Um and then the third thing I do when I'm in a content block is that I I guess this is kind of like any like creative block. Like I try to change my environment because sometimes a simple shift in location, like whether that's like going, even for me, like going to a different room, like literally taking my laptop and going from my desk to the living room helps, unlock. I guess I don't know how to say it. It makes my brain like power like activate more. I don't know. It like unlocks a new part of creativity in my brain. So that really helps me. And another thing is I just literally open a Google Doc form and I just write out random ideas. Um, and literally it could be terrible, it could be horrible. But the goal is to just kind of like get your mind running, like kind of get the ideas flowing and not to make something perfect immediately, right? So literally, I just like start writing of anything I can immediately think of, even if it's terrible, even if I'm never gonna use it, just start writing. Um, and yeah,
That's pretty good.
I think just like you know, yeah, just like a lot of those things I do, and I'm trying to think of other things I do because I know I get into a lot of content blocks
I can say.
easily, but yeah, just like inspiration, changing my environment, thinking about things in my personal life. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. I have some ideas now after
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
hearing, feeling inspired by what you're saying. And
Mm-hmm.
kind of relating it to my experience. I have been through. Oh wait,
Ooh, do you
can
want to
we
pause real
pause?
quick?
Let's pause real quick.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. I forgot where we left off with in terms of
Content block.
creating content. Oh, I was gonna say that um usually when I have a content block, it's because I'm going through a bit of a funk
Mm-hmm.
and a kind of going into my insecurities of like my content's not enough or what, like limited beliefs are preventing me from
Mm-hmm.
taking steps to actually post the damn thing. And so I feel like that's also another thing that you can do is to get yourself out of the content block is to recognize it first off,
Mm-hmm.
recognize that maybe this is stemming from your own insecurities or limited beliefs when it comes to creating content, like maybe you think that your content's not good enough or your ideas are not good enough, and those are just examples, but those are examples of my own limiting beliefs. Usually I don't think my ideas are good enough, so I don't do it. But I heard this quote recently that someone said, if you choose not to do your idea, that idea will soon go to somebody else and they will do it. So sometimes it's a pride thing where I need to do it because someone else is going to do it anyways.
Yeah,
And I want to be someone who does it too. So, or be the first if it's like a unique idea, be the first. So then maybe that's also another thought is like we can be, I mean, speaking from experience, I can prevent myself from doing so much when like all you gotta do is post the damn thing. And even if it doesn't work out, a lot of people just end up revising it, re-editing it, then posting again. Like I've seen people who have posted the same thing over and over again with very small tweaks, at least pertaining to TikTok. I don't really see it on Instagram or YouTube, but TikTok at least you can do that. So I think trial and error is already supposed to be a thing in social media, and I think it would be more beneficial to do your trial, figure out the error, and do it again and again and again. But easier said than done, of course.
Exactly. That kind of circles back to that question earlier about like being a perfectionist. Like sometimes you just gotta post it. You know,
Yeah,
maybe it's bad, maybe it's good, but you never know until you post it.
exactly. Exactly. Thank you for submitting that, Danny.
Yes,
All right.
thank you, Danny.
Next one.
All right, so the next question, am I reading this one?
Yeah, I think I read Danny's.
Okay. So this is by future mega sexy millionaire. What stocks should one prioritize for a Roth IRA, and how do you convince yourself to keep putting money in it when you don't make much money? Okay, so if you guys don't know, Roth IRA is a type of retirement account, and it's post-tax. So when you take money out of the retirement account, like once you're ready for retirement, you don't have to pay any taxes on it because you pay the tax on the money before it goes into the IRA. So what kind of stocks you should prioritize? I don't have like specific stocks I recommend for the retirement account. I'm not a financial advisor, but honestly, just blue chip stocks, like big, reputable, known companies that are still probably going to be around by the time you retire in like, I don't know, like 60, like 50 years, so for example, like Google, Amazon, Microsoft. So a lot of like tech companies, right? So blue chip stocks. So large established financially sound companies that are probably not going to go under in the next few decades, like Apple, Visa, Walmart, Costco's a good one actually. So just like big companies like that, so just a lot of blue chip stocks, and also ETFs are really helpful if you don't want to invest in individual stocks. I definitely recommend an ETF. So an ETF is just basically a collection of the largest like stocks. So like it's just basically a bunch of blue chip stocks together in like one fund. So like VOO, VTI, SPY are really good ETFs to invest in. Yeah, so I would recommend investing in ETFs rather than individual stocks. And ETFs will always go up over the course of time. So if, and I don't know your age, but if you're young, this is literally the best time for you to invest in ETFs and in stocks in general, because you're literally just gonna make your money work for you. So definitely ETFs for sure. And how do you convince yourself to keep putting money in it when you don't make much money? So that's the thing about stocks, right? It's always like stocks are always supposed to be the long run. Like people, so don't like people who do day trading, like short-term investments, um, it's very risky because that's the point where you like don't know if you're gonna lose money or not because that's like gambling. But if you're investing in stocks for like the long term, aka IRA, aka retirement, right? Um, it's gonna pay off for you at the end. So I know it's hard to like put money in a retirement account, especially where you're not making a lot of money now. But I know there's like calculators, like retire like IRA calculators online where you can literally put in like your salary, like how much money you have in savings right now, and you can like estimate like if you put this much money in your IRA right now, how much money will I have by the time I retire when I'm 67. So there's a lot of like those financial calculators like that online, and then maybe that can be a motivation for you because it literally visibly shows you how much money you'll make at retirement if you continue to contribute this amount of money in. So that could be a good a good motivation for you. And I guess just like other mental frameworks, like just thinking like um I have to put money in, like it can be something super small, like literally like $20 a month, like something like really, really small and really, really feasible. Like even like $20 a month can start building that habit for you of putting money into that account every month. And even if put in very little at first, gradually it'll build up by the time you are of retirement age. So I guess like just mentally like building up that habit to start putting money in. And also like budgeting is really important. Like maybe it might help for you to have a different account, where you put your savings in and you can take some of that savings and put it in, your IRA and stuff like that. Um, just like being smart with budgeting, being smart with saving. But yeah, it's definitely really hard. I think the hardest part is just like starting and getting into that habit and getting in that mindset of just putting money into your account. And if you have a job, sometimes jobs like automatically do that for you as well. um Sometimes jobs have like a 401k where they like automatically a part of your salary goes into the 401k, which you can't take out into retirement. But if you don't have a job that puts in a 401k for retirement for you, like an IRA is definitely the way to do it. Yeah, what about you?
I mean, I don't really have a lot of education when it comes to this stuff. I mean, I do. Yeah, I couldn't tell you what stocks because I don't know, and that's something I've been exploring very like bare minimum exploring as of right now, and I have barely like dipped my toes in the water, so I am not in the place to give financial advice right now. But I am in the phase of my life right now where I'm putting as minimal as I can because I'm not in the current my financial situation is not where I can give more than that. But I know if I were to have a job where I'm having more income, then that would change. So I've already been in the process of putting money into at least an account that has some sort of like payback, so dividends. But I haven't done like actual digital investing specifically. And that's kind of, I'm already dipping my toes in. So that's kind of where I'm at.
Yeah. Like
I
any start is good.
Yeah, I have explored 401ks, but I'm currently exploring a Roth IRA. So that's, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, 401ks are usually just like if a company has one.
Yeah, that's
Um,
that's the reason I've
but
had one.
yeah. Yeah, yeah. But if you don't have a company that, provides you one, IRA is definitely the way to do it. Um, yeah. But yeah, Roth
Yeah.
Roth is really good because personally I prefer Roth because it's like post tax.
Yeah, that's kind of what
And
I was looking at too.
I assume taxes are going to be more expensive in like 40, 50 years. So that's why Roth is good now because you're, paying off the taxes now.
It's a good point.
Yeah. And I mean, the only reason you wouldn't want to do a Roth IRA is if you think you're going to be making like a very significant amount of money by the time you retire, so that your taxes. Wait, sorry. So your taxes would be less then versus now, if that makes sense. So if you think you're not going to be making money by the time of retirement, sorry, I said it the wrong way. It's the other way around. If you think you're not going to be making money by the time you retire, then do a pre-tax IRA. But for most people's cases, you usually are making more money by the time you retire, especially if you're really early in your career. So yeah, Roth IRA is really good. Oh, and I think any broad index funds that track the S&P 500 are really good because they're just like the safe ones. Like any fund that tracks the S&P 500 are the safe market funds, the market index funds that you should prioritize investing in.
I'm gonna ask you more questions off stream. Not today,
Okay.
but I have a lot of questions. I don't know a lot about this stuff, but I'm exploring
feel free to ask me. I've done a lot of research into finances and stocks, so I feel pretty knowledgeable about it.
Wow. So, I did not know about this about you, so this is a cool fun fact I'm learning.
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay. I think the next question is more for me.
Yeah, I know.
Do you want to read it?
Oh, sure. Kylie is asking. Yeah, Kylie is asking, have you learned any Lollapalooza tips? So excited to see Twice.
Okay. I think this question's more for me because I'm going to Lollapalooza this August. I have no tips. I've never been to Lollapalooza before. I've never been to a festival before. This is my
really?
first ever music festival. Yeah. So maybe you could answer this question.
Yeah, I was about to say I have some.
Yeah, if you've been to a music festival before, yes. What are your tips? Because I need to know them too.
Okay. Is Lollapalooza a one-day thing or a weekend-long thing?
It's a weekend long, but personally, I'm only going for one day because Twice is only performing one day.
Okay, good to know. It's happening in August, so I can speak from my experience. I've only been to 4 festivals. Okay, I've been to 4 festivals. 5 festivals.
Ooh, that's a lot. Wow, you're a pro.
I guess so, huh? But bring your own water, or at least something that carries water. It's very, very important. So whether you have like the backpack with like that you can fill up with water, and it's like has like I forgot what those are called. You can use that. Some festivals allow for like your canteens or Stanley cups or whatever. You got to look at the just make sure you look over what items are accepted into the venue. Yeah, camelbacks. Thank you, camelbacks. Make sure you refer to what is accepted into the venue because sometimes they can be strict on what kind of bags you bring into. So a lot of places that I've been didn't want you to have a certain size of a backpack, and they wanted you to have like a see-through bag, for example. So make sure you review that when going to a festival, especially if you're going to a weekend-long one, and like say you're coming from a different place and staying near where the festival is. Like make sure that you bring certain items or maybe stuff like that. If you're trying to get super close, now this is very based off of the festival, I advise you get there even when the person is not even up there yet. Like I'm talking early in the afternoon, get your seat and just stay there the whole time. Some people do that. Me personally, no, I don't do that. I'm okay with being far away, especially if they're on a bigger stage and you can see like the screens. But if you are a dedicated person and you want to get up close and personal especially with Twice, I would say get into that stage earlier as possible and plant your feet there and stay there until they show up. Because first off, trampling is an actual issue when it comes to festivals too, so be careful of that. Some people have gotten literally like so suffocated because people are pushing, and that's of course dependent on the fan base too. So I'm not really sure how onces are, but yeah, I feel like be careful of that, because especially if you're at the barricade, like be careful of that. So get there early, plant where you're going to be at. Make sure you have water with you at all times. If you're going with other people, you can have somebody who leaves and go gets food or something like that. It's going to be a bitch, honestly. It's going to be a bitch. But I think as long as you're staying in your place, then you should be good. Make
I have a
out.
question.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So I do plan on trying to get barricade because it's twice. But I know K-pop stands are crazy. So I've heard people that are saying you need to be there like literally right when like doors open
Yeah.
for the festival.
Yep.
But twice doesn't perform till 8 p.m. So if I went immediately there at like when the doors opened and I got barricade, what is like how do I like go to the bathroom and eat?
Yeah. Are you going with other people?
Yes.
That's what I was saying. I think it's best if you have at least
Okay.
one person leave to
Mhm.
get stuff, or if you're the one who
Okay.
needs to go to the bathroom, you guys have to like just alternate, because at least a
But
body
will
needs to
people
be
like
there.
let us back in? Like will people let us
I'm
back in though?
I'm thinking it's gonna be a bitch to come back in. You're gonna have to
Oh, okay,
find a way to get back in. So one way I've done it
okay.
is I've called someone's name, a random name. I'm
Uh,
like,
yeah,
"Hey,
no.
Alfredo, yeah, I'm heading towards you. Sorry, excuse me, guys. Sorry, Alfredo. Yeah, I'm on
Mhm.
my way. I'm coming. Like just
Mm.
play the part to get through. Some people, especially later throughout the day, I think in the beginning of the day, it typically, I don't know, I can't say for Lollapalooza, but I know a lot of people travel to Lollapalooza.
Mhm.
But and as far as like Coachella, like I've been to Coachella, I've been to Camp Flog Gnaw, and like
Oh, nice.
people will stay from morning till night in the
Yeah,
front lines. And I wouldn't
yeah,
doubt that would be the case for Lollapalooza. So make sure,
for sure.
yeah, make sure you have sun protection, a hat, make sure you have sunglasses, make sure you have a jacket that you carry with you. Like maybe you need to cover, because you're going to be out in the sun. Like it's going to be uncomfortable, but if you're a dedicated fan, you're going to be staying put. And like make sure you have people who can take place where you're at and be a body for you
Mhm.
while you go to the bathroom and get food. But yeah,
Mhm.
otherwise, like, this is why festivals are no longer my thing, because
That makes
it's
sense.
quite the adventure and it's worth it. But yeah, it takes some dedication to be in the barricades.
Yeah, I'm literally only going for twice, so
Yeah, having friends with
yeah.
you is going to be a big plus. I think
Mhm.
you utilize and work together to make sure that
Mhm.
you stay put in that same area. And someone gets
Yeah,
food and
and
comes back with food.
yeah, yeah. I think I'm just worried about the sun because personally, I'm like pretty sensitive towards the sun. Like I pass out easily if I'm under the sun for an extended amount of time. So I think that's the only
Oh,
thing I'm worried
is
about.
it hot during that time? And it's Chicago, right?
Yeah, yeah, it's really hot. Apparent like the temperatures for Chicago are like in the dangerous zone during
Uh,
that time of year. It's like
honestly,
really hot. Yeah, it's like gonna be like 100.
honestly, dude, because like when I went to Coachella, like it was hot,
Hmm.
and it's like dry heat, but it's
Hmm.
still regardless. Like that
Yeah.
sun is
Hmm.
on you. Um,
Yeah. Yeah.
I say prioritize your health,
Yeah. Yeah. For
because
sure. Hmm.
heat stroke is so serious, and I'm pretty sensitive to the heat too, so like I could end up like throwing up from being too hot.
Yeah.
So like
Hmm.
you don't want that to
Same.
happen where you can't even see the show.
Hmm.
I think that's
Yeah.
bottom of the
Hmm.
line. You want to see the show, and I think it would be important to at least get in the front. But it does take dedication. Another thing, and I don't know if this will be the case for Lollapalooza. It'd be a gamble, but you can come there a few hours early after seeing shows or after showing up and just find your way to get throughout the show,
Yeah.
because people will be coming and going. You never know.
Hmm.
You can find your way and
Hmm.
squeeze in. um but yeah, either way, like it's gonna be an adventure.
Hmm.
But definitely
Yeah. For
health
sure.
first. Make sure you're not getting
Hmm.
trampled. Leave some room for yourself. Sun protection, water, food is so important. And yeah, I don't think I'm really worried about like mosh pits for a K-pop show, right? There's no mosh pits for K-pop shows.
I don't think so.
Okay. Should be fine.
Yeah. Well, thanks for the advice, Kayak.
Yeah, did I even or any tips for Lollapalooza? Okay, I guess that's like all the tips that I have.
Yeah,
I don't know
basically it.
specific to Lollapalooza, so I can't really answer that, but those are my experiences with festivals. Yeah, dress comfortable for sure. Comfortable shoes. Yeah, hydrate very, very well. And if you're going to be under any sort of influence, make sure you do that safely. Alcohol can be dehydrating, so drink water, especially in heat. Yeah. Okay. Should we go to the next one?
Yeah. Thank you. Yes. Thank you, Kayak.
Yes.
The next one is by AJ. When do you pay / split a bill while going out? I always cover the whole bill to show appreciation.
Wow.
Ooh, okay.
Okay.
That is very generous of you, for starters.
Yeah, that is very generous, AJ.
Yeah, that is very, very generous. Like always, like every single time. I would just say make sure you're not being taken advantage of. That's the only thing. Like I think it's really great that you're trying to show appreciation for your friends. But just make sure there comes a point where you're not the only one paying for everything, and that they're not taking advantage of your generosity.
I agree.
So for me, I usually just kind of like I do this with like popcorn with my friends. You know, every time I go out to eat with someone, I'm just like, you know, like, oh, you paid for the last meal, I'll pay for this meal. Or like maybe I'm like, oh, like they've paid for, you know, a few meals, now I'll pay. Or maybe I'm like, I've paid for a few meals last time, now maybe, you know, they can pay, you know. So I try to just do it like, you pay last time, I'll pay this time. I pay last time, you pay this time, you know. But I'm also not like direct about it. I'm not like, you have to pay this time, you know. But usually all my friends try to pay, you know. Like I feel like the people I surround myself with just kind of like, I feel like it's also like kind of Asian culture too, you know. Like I feel like Asians are always like, no, let me pay, let me pay, let me pay, you know. So if I feel like, you know, if I was like, oh, maybe I was a person who last paid, so when they're like, let me pay, I'll just like let them pay, you know. But if they were the person that last paid, then I like try to fight to pay, you know. So that's kind of how I do it. Like I don't try to like nickel and dime it. Like I'm like, you owe me like this much money like after we got to eat. Like I'm like, I usually just pay for the whole thing, and I'm like, you know, people will probably like cover it next time we go out. Like in my head, it just all balances out in the end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would agree. Make sure you're not being taken advantage of. It's
Yeah.
very generous of you to be paying for other people's, you know, meals or drinks and splitting the bill in that way, or covering the whole bill at least. But yeah, I would say it's nice that you're being generous, but hopefully you're not being taken advantage of in that aspect. I'm kind of the same as Blindfold. Like historically, it's just been kind of like a known thing across the board where one person pays and like recognizes that, and then the next other person pays. I've had it where everybody just understands who's paying for what, because sometimes I'm out with couples and couples will pay together versus like me if I'm like by myself. I'd be paying for myself. So like usually we split the bill as far as like who we're with as a couple or just like ourselves. But if like say for instance someone is paying with their card and is like, hey, could you Venmo me? Like there's no disrespect when you are asking to be paid. Like it's okay for them to ask to be paid back because they were just making it more simple by doing one card on one bill, and then everybody just kind of like pays Venmos that person who paid the bill. And then like I've seen friends who as a gift pay for someone's meal. Like for example, recently it was a friend of mine's birthday and one of our friends just paid for their meal, and then like asked for a Venmo request from everybody else, but paid for the birthday person's meal. So I don't know. I feel like it's just been notoriously in my friend group as a gift or a very, we all understand. Like there's no conflict within that. And usually my friends will be like, hey, like, do you want me to Venmo you back? Or like, what can I use to pay you back kind of thing? And that's when the person can be like, don't worry about it. Or they can be like, get me next time, you know, like you pay the meal next time kind of thing. So I think it's just usually by person or by group that I base off of that understanding for paying, who's paying and how you're splitting it and stuff like that.
I totally agree.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just make sure you're not taken advantage of.
Yeah. Also. Yeah. I mean, I don't know what your perspective is with dating, but usually the person who asks the person out on the date is paying for it. That's how I at least interpret it. If the person's you're the person inviting someone to dinner, like, and it's a date, then I would assume that you were paying for the date.
Yeah.
So if that's the reference you're making, that would be also a perspective for dating.
That's true. Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks. I hope that helped.
Yes.
Next one.
Anonymous. This is a meme.
Okay.
This is a meme
we can
question.
Just answer real quick.
Me and 99 other men are about to fight a gorilla. Can you give me advice?
My advice is bring gloves. Because your fists might hurt.
Yeah. My advice is strategize in different teams. Front lines and distraction, maybe. Something like that.
Yeah. But also, why do you have to fight him? Can't you just be friends? I feel like gorillas are friendly. kind of.
Yeah. Anyways, thanks, Anonymous.
Good luck.
Yeah, good luck to you and the 99 other men.
Next question is by Lauren. Is it ever too late to get into your first relationship? I'm 28 now. My answer is no. People start dating. People date when they're like 40. So 50, you know, like it's never too late to get into your first relationship. Let me think more about it.
Okay.
What do you think, Kayak?
I say it's never too late.
Yes.
Yeah, and I don't know. I guess like imagine the other end where I say it is too late. Then that means you never get into a relationship ever.
Yeah,
like I feel like that just inhibits yourself. Like if you're called to a relationship with somebody, and I'm assuming that this is romantic, then follow it. Follow and see what happens and explore what it means to be in a romantic relationship. I don't think you should inhibit yourself from that experience just because of like perceiving something as too late to do anything when you still have decades of life, technically. Like you still have your 30s to go through, 40s, 50s. I know so many, of people in my family who, did get married in their 20s, but ended up divorcing in their 30s, remarried later in their 30s, and then that became their forever person till the day they died. So it can happen late in life where you end up finding someone and it works. And even if you haven't found someone throughout your 20s, it just means it wasn't your time yet, and that's okay. There are people who are on different timelines, and it doesn't mean you have to be in a romantic timeline yet either. It could mean that you were focusing on other things like yourself, like your family, like your friends, like school, like work. But, media likes to say that we should focus on romantic relationships and throughout our high school and college and early 20s. But that's not necessarily the case. You don't have to focus on that stuff. It's never too late. It's just means that you have been on a different path and you can take up that path if you'd like to. You can explore dating if you want to. Yeah. That's the power of like this sort of freedom is that you have the power to choose what you want to do, and there's just no such thing as too late. No. If you're alive and you're capable of talking to people, it's never too late. Never. Not even if you're 80. There's 80-year-olds that get married. It's never too late. Yeah.
For sure.
That's my
retirement communities are actually a very popular place to, you know, meet up and find people and date.
I heard.
Like, if you're both 80, not like if you're 80 and younger. Never mind. Anyway.
No, I get you. I mean, yeah, I heard they're like rabbits.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, okay. So I was thinking, and so everyone's journey is different, and I feel like there's no timeline for love or even like platonic relationships. Like there's no timeline where you have to, you know, meet a new friend, right? Or there's no timeline of when you have to, you know, enter a relationship, right? And I think there's actually advantages to dating in your late 20s because then you're more emotionally mature, and then the person that, you know, you're dating, if they're around the same age as you, are also more emotionally mature. And there's a lot of advantages in that because when people start dating young, their brains are not fully developed, you know, so it can be very immature and, you know, bad for both parties to, you know, date at such a young age, I think. But the advantage of dating at such a, you know, an age where your brain is fully developed, you are able to, you know, understand what you want and what the other person wants, and you likely have a better sense of who you are and what you want from, you know, someone else. Even if you've never been in a relationship before, you still kind of have a sense of like what you want, you know, and who you are, and, you know, what your boundaries are compared to if you're like 18, you know. So there's actually a lot of advantages to getting into your first relationship at 28. You kind of skip that, you know, emotionally immature phase of like dating as a teenager, right? Like you have your own interests, your career, your independence, and that makes you, you know, more interesting and secure as a person, you know. And confident as well. I feel like when you're older too, you can feel more confident and you are able to know what your boundaries are versus when you're, you know, dating younger. And also I do want to say it is like it's totally okay if you never get into a relationship either. I mean, I think it sounds like you do want a relationship. Correct me if I'm wrong. But even if you don't want a relationship and, you know, you never get in a relationship, that's totally okay as well. So like don't feel pressured by the media or society to feel like you're on a time crunch to get into a relationship, because the reality is that there is no time limit, there is no timeline, there is no rush to date if you even want to date at all. But if you do want to date, and you're looking for someone, I know there are definitely a lot of people out there who've never been in any relationship, or like been into like anything yet, at that age as well, because I have a lot of friends that actually have never dated someone before either, and we're all kind of like in our late 20s as well. So there are definitely a lot of people out there in the same boat as you. So don't think that you're, you know, out of the ordinary or unusual or, you know, an abnormality, or that you're abnormal, you know, because there are a lot of people in the same position as you. And yeah, so I would just say like just be genuine about who you are, be authentic, and don't feel like you need to catch up on some imaginary timeline. And yeah, so if you're ready now, you know, go for it, shoot your shot.
Definitely. You said it. It was well said. I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like we're getting more responses as we talk. Should we cut it off at one point? Because I feel like they're just coming in as we talk.
Yeah, I unpinned on both
I
of
know it's
our.
been 2 hours.
I unpinned from
Yeah.
both of our chats so that submission
Oh, you
stopped.
did? Okay.
Yeah.
Why don't we cut it off at the latest, like the last one that we have?
So do you
We
want
can
to
go through them real quick.
keep going through these last ones?
Yeah, we can just do it real quick, and if there's any more after that, we can stop.
Yeah, that's why I was like, I unpinned them
Okay.
like earlier, so they should
Okay.
stop now.
Okay. Because I was like, I feel like we're getting more and more coming in as we talk.
Yeah, we should have
Um,
unpinned it.
yeah, it's okay. Should we do a speed round?
Yeah, let's do quick answers.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, so this next question is, how can I bring myself to get out of bed in the morning? My answer is, as hard as that, hard as it is, sometimes taking that first step will help
Mhm.
just getting out of bed. But I think an added component that can help is starting your day with something that you enjoy. So, for instance, like what gets me out of bed right now, other than the fact that I usually have to pee in the morning, is is to start making my coffee in the morning. Honestly, that has been my morning routine that I'm really excited for. Is just like the simple cup of coffee, and I love tasting coffee in the morning. Like that's something that gets me out of bed even in like the most
Mhm.
terrible days of my life. So I think finding what that is for you, and yeah, I'm sorry that it's difficult for you right now, but I'm hoping you find something that gets you out of that funk.
Mhm. For me personally, I actually struggle really hard with this. But what helps me is that I count to five. I'm like, and I have to get up when I, hit one. So I count backwards. I'm like five, four, three, two, one, and I have to do something by the time I count to one. So even something small, like giving yourself very tiny milestones, like literally just putting your feet on the floor, out of the covers on the floor. And then after that, you can be like, okay, now I'll sit up. And after that, okay, now I'll stand up. Like just very small milestones that will help you do that. And yeah, but I know it's really hard. Also, Antone, I don't know. I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing your name, but um, so thank you so much for sending in this, and I'm sorry that you're going through this right now. But yeah, I know it's very hard, but I think just or even like setting a timer on your phone. I know that really helps me too.
Yeah,
Like literally maybe like a 10-second timer and be like, okay, I have to get up by the time this timer goes off. Like just giving yourself small milestones, and literally applauding yourselves for doing like the most basic things. Just think like, oh, I need to open my eyes. I need to put my feet outside of the covers. I need to put my feet on the ground. Like just little things, and then that can help you, make it a habit to getting out of bed in the morning.
definitely. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Next one.
How much is too much to spend on my K-pop photo card collection? There's not a limit. Okay, next one. Okay, well, just as much as you're financially able to spend on a hobby, but don't forget it is a hobby. It is not your job. But don't spend too much. But just whatever you are financially capable of, and if it brings you happiness.
Yeah, I have the
Okay,
similar
I'll
answer.
answer the next one too. What light stick are you taking to Lollapalooza? Obviously, the Twice light stick, the candy bomb. Da da da. Okay, last question. You want to read it?
How do you balance work-life balance?
Okay. Thank you,
Um,
anonymous cutie.
yes, thank you, Anon. This is our last question of the night.
Yes.
The way that I've balanced it is, oh, I don't know how to answer this, actually.
Do you want me to go first?
Yeah.
Okay. So it's kind of very hard for me to balance work life balance because I work from home. So my work is at home. My life is also at home because I don't go outside because I'm an introvert and I love being on my computer. So it's very difficult for me to do that. Um, but how I do my best to balance work life balance is that I make sure I do all my work in my work hours, which sounds, very basic, but I'm just like 9 to 5. I have to be focused on work. And then after my work ends, I get up, do something so that I have a clear distinction between work and then life. And then after 5 p.m., I make sure to not do anything work related. I only do things that I enjoy, or I only do like content creation or watch a TV show or eat food, whatever. Like only do things I enjoy. I make sure to not do any work things. outside of like my work hours. I think it also really helps. I'm really bad at this, but it also helps to have a set space to do your work and then have another set space to do like personal life stuff. But it's hard for me because I only have one desk and one like room. So it's hard for me personally to do that. But sometimes when I even like bring my laptop out to the living room, like that change of environment can help me with that as well.
Yeah, it's a good answer. I see. The thing is that my work is all over the place. Like, there will be times when I'm working a lot. There will be times when I'm not working at all. And so, like,
Yeah.
when I'm in blips of time that I'm working way more, usually I'm just prioritizing work when I'm at work. And then if I need to work on work stuff outside of work, so like say I'm learning lines, for example, I just have to do it. It's part of the job. So I'll dedicate time to learning lines, and that's probably like an hour. But then after that, I prioritize feeding myself and allowing space to just be, because if I fall into going on TikTok or just scrolling in general, I find that I just become incredibly overstimulated. So I need time to just be still. And whether that's like going on a walk in the mornings or literally putting all the technology away and just like sitting by myself, or just like focusing on one activity. So like eating food, listening to music, stretching, stuff like that. I need those blips of moments, especially during busy times, to just come back to myself. So usually that, or getting into a flow state in another activity that's separate from content creation. I find that writing right now is really helping me to not be as overstimulated or just like feeling the need to do something and be productive. That has nothing to do with my content creation. It's purely for myself and my enjoyment. So I think finding something away from that has really helped me too, and finding like a hobby that I like that's not performative too.
Yeah, I totally agree. And I think it's about intention, right? And like setting boundaries. Just as you have to set boundaries with your relationships, you also have to set boundaries with yourself as well, and be intentional about when and what you do for work versus when and what you do for your personal time.
So true. Yeah. Thank you guys for
Good luck.
submitting all these questions. We got a lot more than I anticipated.
Yeah, I know.
But it was fun.
I think it's because a lot of people were submitting as we were talking on the podcast as well. So yeah, I didn't expect this podcast to be almost 3 hours, but it is what it is.
That's okay. It was really fun. I appreciate you guys celebrating 10 episodes with us. It's been really fun.
Yes. Thank you so much for sending all your responses, and maybe we'll do another advice episode in the future as well.
Yeah, I'm wondering if a Q&A episode would be really fun too, because I'm sure a lot of people have questions for us, maybe
about us.
Yeah, that could be a fun
do you guys
one.
have questions? Yeah, well, we'll answer all the sleepy fart questions for you guys, I promise. The answer is Koolkayak.
Right, blindfold.
It's not her chair, guys. It's not her chair.
It is my chair.
She's actually farting.
No, it's creaky.
It's not her chair.
Creaky. It's very creaky. But anyways, this is Koolkayak.
And this is Blindfoldhero. Thank you so much for watching our 10th episode. Woo!
Yes.
We'll be back for episode 11 soon.
Yeah.
All right.
Bye, cuties.
Thanks for watching. Bye.
Bye-bye.